Play it on a Saturday so that the whole state can tune in and see the biggest game of the entire season statewide. Duncanville and DeSoto, the two defending champs in 6A, going head-to-head to decide who really is the best team in the state on a special lightning-delayed edition of Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here in DeSoto. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison, thrilled to be with you on this Saturday afternoon. Yeah. We were lined up to do this game all season long, Heckma Harrison. The World Series decided to get in the way last night, but the lightning gods, the weather gods, the football gods stepped in and said, no, this is a game that needs to be carried live across the state. Let everybody tune in and see this one, because this is going to be an absolute battle of maybe, North Shore would take exception to this statement, but maybe the two best high school football teams in the state of Texas.
No, absolutely, and the weather couldn't stop it, or maybe it did. Either way, as he said, man, I'm so happy to be here because this was the biggest game, and obviously with the World Series going on, it was a drag all day yesterday, knowing that this game was going to happen, and we were not going to be here. But the football gods had mercy, and they said we're going to be here for this game. And like you said, two powerhouse North Texas football teams. Well, Texas football, everyone's football. These are two really big programs, the Division I and Division II state title holders right here in the same district. And man, this is definitely going to be a battle that I'm sure you're just as excited as I am.
Oh my gosh! Listen, we've been looking forward to this game all season long. 6A Division I defending state champ Duncanville, ranked number 1 in the state. 6A Division II defending state champ DeSoto, ranked number 3 in the state. This was the game that we were talking about all season long. Any other broadcast we did, hey, this one's really good, but wait until October 27th. Turned out it was October 28th, and here we are on a Saturday afternoon for what should be a really special football game. You said it, anyone's football. Max Preps for at least the last 2 years now has done a weekly, hey, these are the biggest high school football games across the country this week. And for the second straight year at the very least, this is the biggest high school football game in America this week. Duncanville and DeSoto, both teams ranked in the top 15 nationally according to Max Preps rankings, and they also do a composite rankings where they pull from all of the different national rankings that there are, and if you average it out in their composite rankings, these are two of the top 10 high school football teams in the country. Going head-to-head today, it does not get any better than this, and it's not often you can make that statement and truly mean it. A year ago, we were here when these two teams played. Let's take a look back at the highlights from 2022, another rain-soaked affair. You see Reginald Samples there rocking the rain jacket. DeSoto had a couple of chances early on in this football game, some fourth downs that they tried to convert, and the Duncanville defense stood up tall time and again, and right after those defensive stands, Caden Durham went to work. Not even 5 minutes into the football game, on the very first offensive snap for Duncanville, Durham, the LSU commit, went to the house, the start of a very big day for that young man. Later, another fourth down here for Duncanville. DJ Bailey fired end zone, but the Duncanville defense up to the task, and yet again, stop me if you've heard this before, here comes Caden Durham right up the middle, and off to the races he went, and Duncanville was up 14-0 before anybody could even blink. Look at the clock. Here we are still early on in the second quarter, and from there, Durham would continue to pile it on. His third touchdown run here to add to that Duncanville lead, and then later this one was where he threw up the four fingers at the DeSoto defense for his fourth touchdown run of the day. It was 27-0 Duncanville at halftime, and they cruised from there in a game that, Heckma, I know you and I both talked about it that night. We talked about it in the days leading up as well as after last year, that we felt like if that game were played in a drier, more normal weather environment, that it may have at least been a different football game. Maybe not a different outcome, but a different football game, because DeSoto a year ago with Jonte Cook and the speed that they had, Trey Wisner and Tiger Ryden at the running back position, there was this philosophy anyway that, hey, if they could have played that game in a dry environment, maybe it at least would have been more of a football game. Today, we're kind of getting gifted with at least a drier environment. We haven't had rain for a little while. We're hoping it will stay away just for the sake of it being a better football game, because Duncanville just has the size advantage and the big bodies in the middle advantage. DeSoto's edge, if there is one in this football game, it's on the exterior with their speed.
No, and guys like Jonte Cook are probably looking at this saying, yeah, right, I wish they had moved it, because that's like you were saying, they had the team last season that you thought they could really stress this Duncanville defense on the outside because of the weather. They had to rely heavily on their running game, which that Duncanville defense was not going to allow them to run on them. Didn't matter what the weather was. But Caden Durham, I think that was the party for everyone to say, this kid is official. And if you hadn't gotten a taste of his speed and his running style, let's just say this. This kid runs a sub in the 100 dash. I mean, he is.
Sub 10, you're saying?
Sub 10, yes. He is absolutely one of the fastest in the state. He brings that to the football field as well. And you try and get that mix between football player and speed. Caden Durham is the exact mix that you need because of his breakaway ability and just how tough he is, man. But for me, I think when you come into this game and you talk about the skill position, it's just this whole field is going to be littered with players, and how fitting, as you said it earlier in this open, that man, it's played on a Saturday, because a lot of these kids, after they leave this field, they're going to bigger stages.
Yes. I saw one guy tweeted at me earlier today saying, hey, 40-50% of these guys are going to be playing in Division I football on Saturday. And Doug Anderson, a friend of ours who does the games on the CW33, replied to him and said, well, that might be a bit of an exaggeration. but the percentage, and he's right, that's probably a bit much. But the percentage is higher in this game than it is in any other game across the state this season. What is amazing to me, though, is these are truly, at the very least, two of the three best teams in the state, if not the two best teams in the state. And yet, if the DeSoto Eagles win today, it will be an upset. It will be like that. That's how good Duncanville is and has been. They are fantastic, and they feel like they are unbeatable. There are two teams across the state that I think have a chance to beat the Duncanville Panthers, and it's DeSoto and North Shore, and that's the list. And I'm not sure how big the chances are. Duncanville is amazing.
No, they are. And Coach Reginald Samples would probably argue with you that he's had better teams that have gotten all the way to AT&T Stadium and have run into Galena North Shore, the other team specifically that you're talking about. These two programs are now synonymous with one another because of the legendary status that they've had in state titles. I was at the game, I believe it was 2019 was the Hail Mary pass at AT&T
that
State.
sounds right. They've all melded together at this point, but you and I were both there a year ago, too, when they finally got them.
But this is, I mean, these guys on a Hail Mary pass where you think that Duncanville's going to win this game. It's over with. And finally, these teams that Coach Reginald Samples has been able to build up, last year's team finally able to get him that elusive state title. And then you come back this year with the team that I don't think anyone is thinking that these guys can be beat. If DeSoto were to win this game today, yes, it would be an upset. But I think for anyone that's paying attention to football understands that DeSoto is a really good team. And that Division I, Division II, there's very little separation between these teams.
Here's something else that is on the table tonight this afternoon, before we get into our players to watch today. The winner of this game, because of the way that this game will enhance the strength of what they've accomplished this season, the winner of this game walks out of Eagle Stadium here in DeSoto today with a chance at that mythical national championship.
Right.
There are obviously other teams across the state, the IMGs and the Don Boscos and the Mater Days that are in that conversation too. But whoever wins today is the Texas representative that has the best chance to go make that happen. There's a lot on the table in this football game today. Let's get you to our players to watch for this football game. First for the visiting Duncanville Panthers, and it is their defensive end, an absolute superstar, a 5-star prospect, Colin Simmons, the defensive end.
No, he is special. And I will say this, Mike, the last time we were together, I can only remember one other player, Anthony Hill Jr. for Denton Ryan. I walked on the field and I saw him and I said, who is he?
Yeah.
Okay, because of the size, the speed, everything about this kid just screamed, who is he? Colin Simmons is that times 10. And guess what?
He's been that since he was a sophomore.
Since he was a baby, probably, Mike. But here's the thing. He and Anthony Hill are both will be at UT next fall. Oh, my God. those two athletes, but he is a special defensive end. His ability to get around the edge, his bend, all of these things at a very young age, you can't coach it. You really can't coach it, and that's what makes him so special.
Sark's doing himself some recruiting down there at UT, isn't he?
I might be helping him.
Meanwhile, for the DeSoto Eagles, their quarterback, DJ Bailey, a senior this year, really talented passer of the football, incredibly accurate, and the numbers reflect that. 18 touchdown passes this year, not a single interception.
No, he is absolutely a special quarterback. The way that the ball pops off of his hand, Mike, and no interceptions this season really just echoes his ball security and decision making. And he is locked in for 4 quarters, a very special athlete, and one of these guys that when he leaves this program, he's going to leave his mark on it.
No doubt. He needs to have a big game today, though. He and that receiving core need to have a really special day. He's got some targets on the outside that are fantastically talented. You may have heard of Booby Feaster, the #1 freshman wide receiver in America, part of this DeSoto offense this year. Really special young talent that obviously they are super excited about here on Beltline Road. He's out there. They've got a number of other talents on the outside as well. Tiger Ryden, the running back. They've seen a lot of production across their running back core this season, as Ryden has been injured for portions of this season. There's a lot of talent on that DeSoto offense that Duncanville's very talented defense is going to have to contend with. Give you a look at the district standings. This probably won't come as any surprise to those of you who follow it closely, but the two teams tied atop the District 11 6A standings are these two teams, Duncanville and DeSoto, both 5-0 on the year. Waxahachie, their only 2 losses are to these two teams, and they gave both a decent look, as good a look as anybody in this district is going to give them, but both teams comfortably won every game that they've played this season. And Waxahachie and DeSoto was close for a while, but eventually DeSoto pulled away and won that one. These are the 2 best teams in the district. These are maybe the 2 best teams in the state. This is the District of Doom. This is the reality. Duncanville and DeSoto is going to decide it. And we are just about ready to kick this football game off. The weather gods, the football gods cooperated with us, and we are here today. A 2 p.m. kickoff just minutes away. Duncanville and DeSoto, #1 and #3 in the state. A game that truly has everything. Kickoff just 6 minutes away, right here on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit. It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcas.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Number 1, Duncanville. Number 3, DeSoto. Both defending state champions. A special Saturday lightning delayed edition of Friday Night Football right here on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. Let us know if you are in the YouTube comments where you're tuning in from today, who your favorite player is on either of these two teams. If you're a parent or a grandparent, an aunt, an uncle that may be tuning in from afar today, let us know who your family member or friend is that's out there on the field today. And again, let us know where you're watching from across the state today, because I imagine we've got high school football players themselves that played last night and are tuning in for this one today, because this one is going to be spectacular. Already over 1,100 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel and growing. Again, jump in those comments, please. Click the like button, click the subscribe button, as we will bring you a high school football game every week right here on Friday Night Football on WFAA Plus and the WFAA YouTube channel. Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison back here with you. Heckma, what are you looking forward to most in this football game?
You know, I think you talked about him earlier, number 18, Ethan Booby Feaster, just a freshman, but one of the best in the nation. I want to see his matchup versus Tyderick Brown and Taj DeGreat. These are two really good cornerbacks for the Panthers that are just locked down, all-world guys across the board. So that matchup, I think, is going to be very important. But also, Dalen Singleton, number 13. When we talked with Coach Claude Mathis last season, as you talked about Jonte Cook and guys like that, but what did Claude Mathis say to us? He's next. He's my guy that I know is going to take this program forward. And here he is with an opportunity to go against one of the best defenses in the state. So those offensive and defensively, but we hadn't even said this kid's name, and I'm ashamed that we haven't said DeCorian Moore.
Yes.
Okay, because
we mentioned Boobie Feaster, the number 1 wide receiver in the freshman class. DeCorian Moore is the number 1 wide receiver in the junior class.
Man, this kid, number 1 for the Duncanville Panthers. DeCorian Moore is lights out, man. The LSU commit, one of the best wide receivers, period, in the nation. That matchup, I think, is going to spell so many problems for this DeSoto Eagles cornerback, the secondary room. Mario Buford has his work cut out for him today.
Give you a look at the YouTube comments real quick. Voltronic says that they're tuning in from Spokane, Washington. Tarek Wiggum watching from Atlanta. C7 Janacek says Duncanville. LeMason says D-ville, baby. Caleb says D-ville. J. Ray Jones says D-ville by 21 easy. Nona says DeSoto going to take this dub. Cube says he's tuning in from Southlake, Texas. Kevin V, 1978, tuning in from Sugar Land, Texas. Caleb Kirby says he's pulling for DeSoto. Frat Sonic SRT Banshee says Duncanville 40, DeSoto 21.
Whoa.
Rob says Duncanville win. Cobra Kai Boy says he's tuning in from Grapevine. CD says white versus silver is insane. That's a fair point. It's white Duncanville jerseys, silver DeSoto jerseys. I pity the quarterbacks today. That is going to be difficult to parse out looking downfield.
Oh, that's great. That is great. That's an announcer's dream.
But worse for the quarterbacks. Like, we can at least see from up here, the vantage point is a little easier. Man, I would not, as somebody who played the position, I would not want to be looking downfield into that. That is That does not look like fun. 1,600 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel. Again, please keep clicking that like button, keep clicking that subscribe button, and keep letting us know in the YouTube comments where you are tuning in from today. East Texas, DeSoto, Dallas, Abilene. Eddie says Duncanville by 40, Alvarado, Texas, all over the state. We got y'all tuning in for the biggest game in Texas in 2023. Kickoff when we return on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Back on Friday Night Football, ready to kick this one off. Head coaches tonight for the visiting Duncanville Panthers, the legendary Reginald Samples, over 300 wins, finally, deservedly got his state title a year ago. And for DeSoto, Claude Mathis also got his first state championship, standing there at the 41-yard line with his trademark white visor. Ready to go for this one, and it will be his football team that will receive the opening kickoff to start this football game off. Out to kick it away for Duncanville is Anthony Bernal. Duncanville in the whites, DeSoto in the silvers with the green numbers. And we are underway in DeSoto. A 2:05 kickoff, taking it from his own 5-yard line and bending to the near sideline. Out of bounds at around the 25 is DeSoto's Dalen Singleton. And out comes this DeSoto offense, led by the senior quarterback, DJ Bailey. Offensive coordinators Charles Williams and Kerry Sweeney leading an offense that features, as we mentioned off the top, Boobie Feaster and Dalen Singleton on the outside. Importantly, Marvin Duffy starting at running back for the DeSoto Eagles. Tiger Ryden has been battling injury all season. He was a question mark coming into this football game. Claude Mathis said earlier this week that if they couldn't get him healthy to play in this game, they will hold him out until the playoffs. At least to start the football game, Tiger Ryden not on the football field. It will be Marvin Duffy to start at running back for the Eagles. It'll be DJ Bailey in shotgun, and he'll go to the air right off the rip, up the near sideline, behind the defense, and off to the races goes Dalen Singleton, and Duncanville starts with a lightning strike, 76 yards.
We talked about this matchup, and you see it, Dalen Singleton exposing on the outside, Ty Derrick Brown in man coverage, and they start this with the fade ball, and just like that, the Eagles strike.
15 seconds into the football game, Bailey to Dalen Singleton, and DeSoto strikes first.
Wow. And you're talking about DJ Bailey in the opening and just how cool, calm, and collected he is. Man, that play fake to Marvin Duffy, he stood there stoic in the pocket and delivered a dime that came right over the shoulders of Dalen Singleton. That's how you open up a game. If you could have been on this field in the pregame, then you could just feel the tension down there. I think Mike knows better than anybody about how heated it got down on the field. But boy, that's a way to say, I ain't scared of you, and I'm going to show you to open the game for the Eagles.
76 yards from DJ Bailey to Dalen Singleton up the near sideline on a play-action fake and a deep ball for the touchdown. And DeSoto is the first to strike today.
Wow, what an open.
$2,700 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Again, please click the like button, click the subscribe button, and drop a comment in our YouTube chat stream. Manny Velasco says, tuning in from Washington State. Joy Boy says DeSoto got this game. Jew Whitaker says, yes, sir. Shout out Coach Sweeney, still making it happen. Winton Blue says, streaming from Las Vegas, Nevada. Caleb Kirby says, one thing where adjustments don't work against is speed.
Amen to that. Wow, what an open.
Incredible. Deep kickoff into the end zone, courtesy of DeSoto's Angel Diaz, and it will be a touchback, and out comes Keelan Russell and this Duncanville offense. Russell, a second-year starter. Caden Durham, his starting running back, on his way to LSU, a fantastic talent. Heckma, you talked about his speed pregame. DeCorian Moore, Asen Theus, Nate McCoy, the wide receivers on the outside, and Zach Turner, a really big and strong athlete playing tight end for him.
Yeah, Zachary Turner is a kid that they had lined up at wide receiver, but it's just continued to grow and had to be put into that H-back tight end role, but he is a lethal receiver as well.
First play from scrimmage, Russell over the middle. Quickly delivering the tackle for DeSoto is Macaulay McKellar. A gain of 6 on the play for Duncanville.
Yeah, just a quick set right there for Keelan Russell. Another really exceptional quarterback on the field. Hadn't talked about him, but man, a kid with a great arm.
Stacked up is Caden Durham. It's going to go down as a loss of 2 on the play. And the near side DeSoto sideline, Heckma Harrison, there is some life. We talked about it pregame that a DeSoto win today would be an upset, would be a pretty seismic shock. Even as the number 3 team in the state and the defending state champs in 6A D2, Duncanville is seen as this big bully on the block that how could somebody possibly beat them? What a start for the DeSoto Eagles. 3rd down and 6 here. Ball at the 29, they've got to get to the 35 for the first down. Russell to the air, hit as he throws, nearly intercepted, a chance at it for Brandon Booker, and he couldn't squeeze it.
Oh, Brandon Booker, he had an opportunity to cancel Christmas out in the flats. Read this perfectly, but it's all pressure up the middle by Jamari Lay. And man, they are lucky that they didn't get a sack, or even worse, right there, because Jamari Lay is coming from his middle linebacker position like a Scud missile with the pressure on Russell.
It is a penalty, though, on DeSoto. A personal foul against DeSoto, and that's going to give Duncanville a free first down, a massive penalty.
This is one of those pressure cooker situations for both of these teams. This is a community game. Both of these communities are filling this stadium. And so a lot of these kids, they know each other, have played against each other since middle school, bitty ball. And so this is big to get on this stage, but you do not want to cost your team like this.
It should have been Duncanville punting it away. Instead, they set up the screen near side. It's Turner on the reception, undercut, but into DeSoto territory. Ball came out, but he was down. Turner stays down after he was undercut, but started to get up, now staying down again. That is a major concern for the Duncanville Panthers.
Oh, you can see
one of their
it.
stud talents.
Yeah, you can see it right here. He plants his right foot. I saw it immediately as it happens. There's on the tackle. It's his left leg got caught underneath him. He is a big target. As you saw, they set the screen up for him. He was out front, out in the middle of it, and man, let's just hope that he's okay.
Zach Turner, just a sophomore, but super talented. You talked about it off the top of the broadcast. Big kid, especially for just being a sophomore. You hope that this is not major, not putting a lot of weight on that left leg, but with each step maybe a little bit more. You hope it's something that he can just walk off and that he will be okay.
Yeah, he would definitely be a miss for this Duncanville Panthers team. But boy, to see him run off, see him run off, that's good. That's those young bones, Mike. I'm telling you, young bones, man, they just bounce right back.
So after the screen pass to Turner, 1st and 10 for Duncanville in DeSoto territory at the 43. If you're late in joining us, it was the very first play from scrimmage for DeSoto. DJ Bailey to Dalen Singleton, 76 yards for the touchdown. False start here on Duncanville, it would appear, is going to dock the Panthers 5 yards. But that is how DeSoto struck first in this game.
On the offense, number 50. 12-yard penalty.
Deshaun Bryant, the left tackle.
They get Deshaun Bryant, but I think everyone, you got the one tag
First down 15 for the Panthers.
pointing to the referee that the ball was moved prior to the snap.
Caden Durham here with the handoff, looking to get to the outside. One cut up field, he's got the penalty yardage and then some back. First down, Duncanville inside the 30.
And there it is. That's the Caden Durham problem. Number 29, just ability to get to the outside as Duncanville goes hurry up.
Over 4,000 of you with us now on the WFA YouTube channel as Durham knifes his way up the middle for another first down. A gain of 12 on the play, and Duncanville's looking to get back to the line of scrimmage quickly here. Durham again, this time the defensive front from DeSoto up to the task. Marshall Curvin, Jairus Guy in the middle there, plugging things up and creating what will be 2nd down and 10, no gain on the play.
And also Jason Douglas out on the outside, just playing his defensive end position and squeezing that tackle down to get his palms on Caden Durham.
2nd and 10 from the 17. Russell swinging it near side. Asen Theus on the receiving end. Blockers not able to create space for him. He's able to gain 3 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
And Desmond Brown Alexander and that wide receiver core is just basically trying to create that room. Nate McCoy as well. You see a lot of teams practicing these screens, and it's 3 versus 3 to make those DBs make a decision. To find a crease and maybe get to the end zone, but they have that's a good job by the DeSoto Eagles of diagnosing and getting the tackle.
3rd down and 7 now for Duncanville, excuse me. Handoff, Durham, nowhere to go. Jairus Guy there again. 4th down for the Panthers.
And big number 90, Guy, again, just so violent at the line of scrimmage and point of attack, making it hard for this this Panthers offensive line to open up those holes that they're accustomed to seeing to getting Caden Durham out of the backfield. So far, this has been a matchup down in the trenches. And bringing up an important, is this second or no, this is fourth down.
They have forced Duncanville to try a field goal here from the left hash. Jonathan Batris on for the field goal. High snap. Hold is down. The field goal is good. And Duncanville is able to pay off their opening possession with 3. 7-3, mid-first quarter on Friday Night Football. The DeSoto Eagles with the early advantage in the biggest game of the year.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
7-3 our score. The DeSoto Eagles starting things off with the DJ Bailey to Dalen Singleton 76-yard touchdown hookup on the first play from scrimmage to take that 7-0 lead. Now DeSoto with a 29-yard field goal from the left hash, courtesy of Jonathan Batris to answer back. And it's 7-3. It will be Singleton from his own 4-yard line, looking for a crease right up the middle. Dalen Singleton again. Dalen Singleton's already got 1 touchdown. He's hunting for another. Dalen Singleton, 96 yards. The track star with the touchdown.
I don't know if you can feel this, but this stadium is rocking right now. And this home crowd is pouring it on that run from Dalen Singleton. As soon as he saw daylight, nobody was catching him. Man, it's...
I know what you're thinking.
What?
Say it.
Halloween is approaching, and that's Friday the 13th on a Saturday. If you're thinking that, then I'm telling you, man.
So I wasn't thinking that. Let's let the PAT play out here. The extra point is up and through, and it's 14-3. That's what I'm wondering. Clay Marshall, our director, can we see that replay one more time? Again, there is no replay in Texas high school football. But watch the kickoff return here from Dalen Singleton, and watch at the very end. Did he go? Was it LaShawn McCoy's the name that's sticking out my head, but Deshaun Jackson. Thank you. Did he go Deshaun Jackson here at the very end? Where did that football come out?
Did.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy. I'm not sure.
You know what? I didn't say it. If you go back and look at his first one, I think he did the same thing on his first one.
Did he really?
Yes.
Oh, my. Okay. Now, again, no replay in Texas high school football unless it is the 12 state championship games at AT&T Stadium. It's the only place around the state where the infrastructure is in place to do it. So the touchdown stands. Nothing is coming off the board, but just interesting. Yeah. And the YouTube comments are lighting up. XD Jordan says he fumbled. Sir $3 says, my gosh. Alejandro Mendoza, that ain't no TD. OG Keefe says he dropped the ball. There's a case to be made. It matters not. And if we're really being honest here, from a practical perspective, very obviously he was going to score a touchdown. It doesn't really impact the way the game was being played, other than the DeSoto coaches may use that as some teach tape over the course of the coming week.
Oh, yeah. They're going to talk about that because that could cost you, especially in a state title. You don't want to make a mistake like that.
On the return here for Duncanville, Asen Theus with a nice return, brings it out to the 26-yard line. And that's where Keelan Russell and company will get back to work, but down 14-3.
Couldn't have predicted that. Mike, couldn't have predicted that. I think we're all a little shocked right now. DeSoto has like, this is a shook up soda can kind of opening right now for the DeSoto Eagles, and they have splashed all over the Panthers.
First play from scrimmage here on this second drive, and Russell thrown for a loss. DeSoto piling on and fired up here, and for good reason. The play made by Kiki Abrams. He lost his helmet on the play, so he's going to have to come off for a snap here. But
I tell you, these guys up front for the Eagles are playing fantastic, as you saw from Abrams right there, not fooled by the ball fake and keeping his eyes on Keelan Russell.
I feel like this comment here that I just saw a moment ago in the YouTube feed is maybe the best way to describe that touchdown from Singleton, where he very likely did fumble before, as Russell takes this one, and Russell's got some space. Russell being chased from behind. He's inside the 35 as Keelan Russell gives Duncanville a big boost here. Shaquille Oatmeal said he didn't score, but Duncanville doesn't deserve the fumble. I feel like that's there wasn't anything done to earn the fumble. That feels like a fair way to put it, that the play practically should go down as a touchdown, and it does.
I'm sorry, Mike, but you're not just going to pass by that great handle name. Shaquille Oatmeal?
Shaquille Oatmeal, yes, sir.
What are we doing? I love it.
Crazy.
Shaquille Oatmeal.
5,300 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube feed. Let us know in the poll as well. Who you got in this one? Duncanville or DeSoto? 63% of you saying Duncanville right now. Out on the outside, Asen Theus picks up, call it 7 on the second down and 8.
And you see them trying to spread them out and make this DeSoto Eagles defense run. They have a lot of speed on the outside for the Panthers. They have just got to weather the storm right now in this first quarter.
Third down and 4 is where they spot it. Durham on the handoff, snowed under. Flag late in the play here. Really after the play.
Want to give credit to number 6, DeAndre Wisner. There's a player down on the field.
A Duncanville player taking a seat. So Kiki Abrams gets hit with the unsportsmanlike penalty. And it's going to give Duncanville another free first down. Coming off for the Eagles is Dre Wisner that you were just talking about. We should mention our officiating crew today. Bill Theodore, the crew chief, wearing the white hat, our referee. He and his crew, we've seen them earlier this year. They had the Anna Salina game that you and I did. They had the South Oak Cliff State Championship game a year ago at AT&T Stadium. A fantastic crew that belongs on a game of this kind of import. And I'm sure they will do a quality job this afternoon here in DeSoto. But that is a massive penalty on Kiki Abrams to give Duncanville 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
No, you can't do this. And I talked about this pregame. You know the emotions are high on both ends, but that's just, man, that's just this rivalry and the way that this game is going to be played. But for Kiki Abrams, man, he knows it. He knows he can't make mistakes like that to breathe new life into this Duncanville Panther offense.
And sure enough, right on cue, a timeout called by Claude Mathis. I imagine on some level wanting to get his group together and say, hey, I get the emotion. And listen, both of these coaches understand. They've been a part of this game for years. DeSoto also plays their rivalry game against Cedar Hill. That is a massive rivalry. There is always a ton of emotion behind these games because these kids have known each other for years. They've been playing each other since Pee Wee football. So the emotion makes sense. It's fair that emotion is there, but the coaches want, okay, let's harness it and target it. Let's not let it get out ahead of us and create situations like it just did there with Kiki Abrams, where you give a team a first down deep now in your own territory, way into the red zone.
Yeah, and let's see what play Bringing up a 1st and 10, and Duncanville decides to take a timeout here. But you're right. They have to stay focused. And you can't let this moment get away from you by making bonehead plays like that, and those personal unsportsmanlike penalties will cost you in the end.
6,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Chase13 says, yes, sir, I play for North Shore, so whoever wins, I don't care. I want to see who it is. Jesse DeLeon says, North Shore not beating these DFW teams. That has been a major point of contention in a lot of the high school football Facebook groups that I'm in across the state. The debate between Duncanville and North Shore, and whether DeSoto is in that conversation too, which at least through the first 6 minutes and 10 seconds of this football game, they're saying, hey, we're here too. It's been fun to see the trash talk all through this season. These two teams certainly part of it. Caden Durham with the handoff. No, Russell's going to keep it himself, but again, taken down. Little gain on the play. The DeSoto defense, Sael Reyes with the tackle there. Heck, but this defense has been up to the task so far today.
No, they really have, and one of the things that I've noticed so far, Mike, is that DeCorian Moore, number 1, hasn't been in this game. I've been looking for him on series, and I haven't seen number 1 on the field, so don't know. Got a little opportunity to speak with the coaches before the game. Obviously, they wouldn't tell us if they were missing a player of that magnitude.
Well, but I did directly ask the question to Reginald Samples pregame. I said, are you guys healthy? He said, we're okay. I said, is anybody not going to play? And he said, no, everybody's playing. So that is a surprise. End zone shot, knocked away. Mario Buford in single coverage.
I love that from Mario Buford, just in his back pedal, understanding where the strength of the defense is, and he is driving all the way to that end line. And good to see Zachary Turner back in the game. Zachary Turner, 6'3", he's probably 6'5" by now. Last time I saw him was at David Robinson, the world-renowned wide receiver coach. He also coaches Zachary Turner in the offseason, just skilled position. This kid, is that jump ball right there, I've seen him make that play 100 times. I'd go right back to it.
3rd down and 9. Durham switches from right to left here for Russell. Russell looking end zone, fires middle, knocked away. He was hit as he threw. It was nearly picked off. Caleb Holmes couldn't squeeze the interception, but it's another 3rd and long stop for the DeSoto defense. Will Duncanville decide to kick the field goal? It looks like the answer is yes.
Wow. This is huge, though, Mike, for this DeSoto defense to hold them in the red zone twice.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not going to say because someone is missing or not, but I think that's a huge component to your offense that you're not seeing if you're Duncanville, not having DeCorian Moore on the field.
So out comes Jonathan Batris once again. He's already hit a 29-yarder. This one from 27 is good as well. And it's 14-6. Batris with a pair of field goals to cap off the 2 drives so far for the Duncanville Panthers. But rather shocking to see them not find the end zone, especially with the success they had a year ago against this Duncanville defense. Caden Durham went off. Tonight, or today I should say, this afternoon, this DeSoto defense has been very good so far.
No, they really have, and I think it's shutting down that running game, because you're so used to seeing the Panthers get those on 1st down, pick up 3 yards, pick up 4 yards to bring up a 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, and so much of your playbook is then open to you if you're the Panthers. Now, on these 3rd downs, they're having to try and pick up chunk yardage, and that's due to the fact that this DeSoto defense is really pressing them and able to withstand the speed component from the Panthers on the outside. This is a great matchup. What I'm waiting for is for the Duncanville Panthers to emerge to be the team that we've been seeing. This is #1 team in the state right now, and DeSoto has them in a headlock.
They decide to kick it away from Dalen Singleton. That seems wise. Fielded on a line at his own 11-yard line, and Antonio Pride able to return it out to the 27-yard line. And back comes this DeSoto offense that has been on the field for 1 play.
Chilling.
That's an actual stat. 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in this first quarter. They lead 14-6, and the DeSoto offense has been on the field for 1 snap.
They need to warm up again. You had to start all over again in team warm-ups. These guys are cold. They've been sitting on the sideline drinking Gatorade.
Handoff coming near side for Marvin Duffy. Undercut after a gain of 3.
Number 27, Duffy on the carry.
Yeah, Marvin Duffy, another great running back as well, backing up Tiger Reardon, and really want to see Reardon be healthy. Know how explosive he is. The dislocated elbow.
A little bit of extracurriculars after this play, and a flag flies in. Claude Mathis pointing out the offending party and throws his hands up and says, okay, you got it, you got it. The flag comes in, and that will, it appears, go against the Duncanville defense. So we've seen both defenses have been the ones that have gotten caught with their hand in the cookie jar with a little extra emotion today.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct from the defense, number 2. 15 yards is added to the end of the road to automatic first down. That's number 2's first unsportsmanlike foul.
Kadavian Dotson Walker, the offending party this time, and that's going to walk the DeSoto offense down to the 42-yard line, 1st and 10.
Yeah, you just, for both of these teams, and you got to know, the coaches have got to let them know that this official squad, the official
helmets flying everywhere.
These officials have a quick trigger, and they're going to throw that flag, and can't be mouthing off and running up into the face of another player.
Javian Council had his helmet ripped off. He was the one who made the tackle anyway. And credit to him, he knows the rules. He waved his replacement off and said, no, my helmet got ripped off because of a penalty. I can stay, and he's gonna be able to stay on the field here.
Personal foul, hands to the face on the offense, number 58. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So Leon Brigham gets tagged with the penalty, and DeSoto ends up giving those penalty yards right back.
Yeah, and Brigham, he is matched up with Council. That's going to be a war down there in the trenches between these two.
So 1st down and 25 now for DeSoto at their own 43-yard line. Bailey's going to have to go to the air, but he won't be able to get the throw off. Knifing through for the sack is Mason Williams.
Now that's the Duncanville Panthers that I know. All pressure, and number 5 comes from the wheel linebacker position to shut things down, recognizing that DJ Bailey is about to try and unload another pass down the field. The Panthers are not just sitting back and waiting anymore, and you saw that from Mason Williams.
2nd down, and right now it says 25, but it's even longer than that. They try and go with the delayed draw up the middle, and nowhere to go for Marvin Duffy, ripped to the turf.
They call themselves deep block, and you see it on the outside. Number 5, Mason Williams, is joining the party right now because he is not going to lose contain on the outside. Makes an amazing tackle. It'll bring up a 3rd and long for the Eagles.
Ball sits at the 35. They've got to get to the 32 on the opposite side of the field to pick up a 1st down. Pressure off the edge on Bailey. Spins away from him, but can't get away. He does get away. Somehow got away from Colin Simmons, but the pass is knocked down by the 2nd wave as Alex January got his hands on it, and it's 4th down.
Well, Mike, I thought we would agree that every time we said number 11's name, we would say Alex January, February, March, and April, because that's how big number 11 is. What a huge, huge kid. And he's able to get his hand up and get the deflection, but I'm just as impressed that DJ Bailey is able to get away from Colin Simmons.
That does not happen.
That does not happen.
Alex January, a 4-star prospect in his own right, 6'4", 325 on his way to UT. DeSoto has to punt for the first time today.
Oh, wow.
Wobbly punt that checks up at the 32, checks backward to the 34, and that's where it's down.
You mean to tell me Alex January, he's going to UT as well? Let me tell you something. Training table at UT. Just get all the biscuits and gravy together, okay? Just get it together right now. Get all the chicken fried steak you can put together because Alex January is coming. That is a big kid, and it's just surprising to see a kid his size to be able to move as fast as he does, as nimble as he is. A very special product on this Duncanville defense, and man, can't wait to see what he does at the next level.
There aren't enough Hawaiian rolls in the world for that group. They run the option here, pitch it to the outside here for Asen Theus, but Duncanville strung out by this DeSoto defense. Caleb Holmes in on the tackle. Buford there as well, a gain of 2.
And one of the things I'm really impressed with, when they try and stretch this DeSoto Eagles defense out, the pursuit has been there. They've met these guys and turned it back inside. So that says to me that they are working like a well-oiled machine, this Eagles defense, just playing together, staying in their lanes, and playing assignment football.
Well, congratulations to you, our viewing audience. You've just set a new record on Friday Night Football. Over 7,000 concurrent viewers right now on the WFA YouTube channel, pushing 7,100. Hey, can we get to 10 grand? Just keep sharing this feed around with your friends, especially because, hey, this year, at least so far, great football game in front of us here as Duncanville's trying to answer back here and go on a drive. 3rd down and 5 they face right now. Share this feed around with your friends. Russell to the air off play action over the middle, complete. Zach Turner, good to see him back on the field playing healthy. He's got the 1st down.
And looked like he's running without anything on that ankle as he went out earlier. So that's good to see as well.
1st and 10 at the 45 in DeSoto territory. Quick throw right side. Asen Theus has some blockers, hops his way over a submarining DeSoto tackler, and he's got 9 on the play.
Receiver second at the 36-yard line. Brings up
2nd and 1. Handoff Durham, running near side. He's got some blocking on the outside. Caden Durham into the 2nd level. Will not be caught. Touchdown, Duncanville. 36 yards.
And that's what we're used to seeing, Mike. Caden Durham getting to the outside and making life difficult. Look at how easy this is, reading his blocks to the outside, and as soon as he sees daylight, he explodes right to the pylon. And just like that, the Panthers are showing you, hey, we've taken your first initial blows, and we're going to answer.
It looks like Duncanville will indeed go for 2 here and look to tie this game up early on at 14 points apiece. 36 yards on the Caden Durham touchdown run. Now Durham's going to take the direct snap from center. Cuts back, finds some daylight, lunges in. And late 1st quarter, we are tied. 14 all.
And my question is, how did he get through this tackle? That's just strength and determination for Caden Durham to get that 2-point conversion.
53 seconds left in a 1st quarter that has taken 34 minutes. 14-14 on a special Saturday edition of Friday Night Football. We'll keep it right here. We'll tell you that next week on Friday Night Football, it is a Thursday night edition as we will be in McKinney. The McKinney Lions hosting the Prosper Eagles in what will be a district championship game in that district. That is a special Thursday night game. A lot of teams around the state playing on Thursday in the final week of the regular season to have that one extra day to get ready for the postseason. Prosper and McKinney here on Friday Night Football. That's this coming Thursday night. Conveniently scheduled on a World Series off day. Thank goodness for that.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for pointing that out.
From his own 2-yard line, here comes Antonio Pride, bending to the outside. Big block on the outside. Cuts his way up at the 20 and taken down there. 1st and 10 for DJ Bailey and company.
Yeah,
this DeSoto offense, Heckma, hasn't had to really move the football yet. Can they?
Yeah, this is the time. Obviously, this 1st quarter, a bunch of action, a bunch of back and forth. You talked about this. They were sitting on the bench for a lot of that 1st quarter because they only had to be out for 1 play and score to Dalen Singleton. Now, score's tied up, 45 seconds left here in the 1st quarter. They're going to have to manufacture a drive to get some scores.
Quick throw near side. Blocking on the outside and cutting upfield for a few is Jakiri Washington.
In the same theory, especially when you have a defense with that much speed, make those guys get on their horses and pursue. And you saw great pursuit right there from the Duncanville defense. E.J. McKinney with the tackle.
2nd and 6, quick throw near side, complete to Antonio Pride. He's got the first down and then some outside the 35-yard line, and they move the chains.
Yeah, they are testing those boundaries.
DeSoto doesn't have to snap it here before the end of the quarter, but they will. Bailey now with nowhere to go. Just has to throw it away. Flag on the play. That was a disaster for DeSoto from the jump.
Well, Tadarick Brown just diagnosed the play and held up the wide receiver.
Holding from the offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Remains first step.
They could have just let the clock expire and gone to the second quarter. For some reason, hurried it up and snapped it, and then they were completely discombobulated. Tadarick Brown, as you said, read the play perfectly, and suddenly DJ Bailey had nowhere to go with the football. And then to add insult to injury, it could have just been a throwaway. They get the holding penalty. Now DeSoto trying to claim that that's going to be against Duncanville defensively. We'll see what the officials say. False start.
75-yard penalty. First down.
They get Ronell McClain, the left tackle, for moving a little too soon. You know, there's got to be a little grace and forgiveness out there for McClain because he has Colin Simmons in front of him, and I don't blame you.
There is something to that for sure.
I don't blame you.
First down and a mile. That ball bobbled but caught, but nowhere to go for Jakiri Washington, and that will, I think, mercifully be the final play of the first quarter, but now a flag on the play afterward. Duncanville's players clapping as Washington is being held back by the officials. There has been a lot to this first quarter, football and otherwise. And our officiating crew again with things to sort out here.
That's tough. And you know what? I have to give the officials a lot of credit because they're trying to wrangle this in. They don't want this game to get out of control.
Yeah.
Because it really is so much on the line, and both of these schools, man, they are playing for pride and community. As you hear the DeVille, DeSoto cries going back and forth in this stadium.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense. Number 23, he threw a punch. He's disqualified from the contest. Ball will be placed at the 12.5-yard line. It's the end of the quarter.
A noisy end to the first quarter here on Friday Night Football. Jakiri Washington disqualified for throwing a punch in the aftermath of the final play of the period. We'll come back quick here on Friday Night Football with the start of quarter number 2.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with Daybreak. What about you?
Start of quarter number 2 on a special Saturday edition of Friday Night Football. Duncanville and DeSoto, number 1 and number 3 in the state rankings, and fittingly tied at 14 after one quarter of play. But it has been a period that has been rife with extracurriculars. None more so than Jakiri Washington, the DeSoto wide receiver, whose day is done after that first quarter of play, disqualified by our officiating crew for throwing a punch after that final play of the first quarter. So now DeSoto is going to have to go to the bench at that wide receiver position for these final 3 quarters. They also have to figure out what to do on 2nd down and a mile. They've got to get to the 45-yard line to move the chains. Little doing there on 2nd down and what they called 2nd and 29.
Definitely seems like much further than that initially.
Bailey, pressured, taken down. He thinks he's still on his feet, so do the officials. He throws over the middle, he's got a man complete. Out across the 40, they won't get the first down, but Dalen Singleton out to the 42-yard line, and it's going to be 4th down and 3. I don't know how he wasn't down.
Nehemiah Barner looks like he has him in his grasp coming from the Sam linebacker position.
His elbow is down. That should have been down. Again, no replay in Texas high school football. There is also some disagreement. The scoreboard reads 3rd down. The down marker on the far side reads 4th down.
Yes.
And I think the officials are now having to sort that out. Did the play at the end of the first quarter count as a down, or because of the penalty, did it reset 1st down? Apparently the people running the scoreboard thought that it was still 1st down at the start of this quarter. The sticks thought it was 2nd down. Now the scoreboard has changed to read 4th down, so it seems that maybe the sticks are winning out here. But Reginald Samples has his arms stretched out wide, wondering what's happening here. And wow, they're going to bring this back.
Amazing play. Amazing play, but when you saw DJ Bailey go down there.
Sideline interference from DeSoto. The official ran into an assistant coach. 15 yards from the end of the run.
Oh, that's what's bringing it back. So they're not changing the ruling. I saw the official pointing back. That's what it is. It's a 15-yard penalty against DeSoto for sideline interference. An official ran into someone on the DeSoto sideline. That's what created this penalty. So now, instead of, I think we have sorted it out that it is 4th down, although that piece is still a bit hazy.
Wow. We got a lot of flags, a lot of things going on, and usually you got the get-back coach, right? The get-back coach on the sideline is always getting everybody away from the official.
Does DeSoto know that it's 4th down? Is it 4th down? Now the sticks say 3rd down. Okay, 3rd down, and they've got to get to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 14. Because there's no way DeSoto's going for it on 4th and 14 at their own 27-yard line. Excuse me, 4th and 18. It's 3rd down and 18. Pressure off the edge again on Bailey. He steps up past it, fires over the middle. He's got Singleton, and he'll have, I think, enough for a 1st down. He will on 3rd down and 18. What a play by DJ Bailey.
And DJ Bailey just calm, recognizing that he has the pressure behind him. Man, really wise beyond his years as a quarterback when you see him step up in the pocket like that and deliver a strike to Singleton. That's a big pickup right there for the Eagles.
Incredible connection between Bailey and Singleton, and they move the chains. Now the handoff goes off the left side for Duffy. Hops his way across midfield, a gain of 6. It'll be 2nd and 4.
They get Kadavian Dotson comes up and fills that hole and gets the tackle. And boy, you don't want to see a guy like Council down. Big number 99. He has been battling him and Leon Bingham going at it.
And you can see the frustration from Javian Council at staying down after this play. Colin Simmons checking on him as well. Council, the senior nose tackle for the Duncanville Panthers. A key piece of this very stout Duncanville defense. They have had a remarkable season statistically. Look at what Duncanville has done on the defensive side of the ball this year. In 7 games, they've given up 26 points.
That is amazing.
A ridiculous stat. Obviously, 14 today would up that total to 40. They gave up 13 points to South Oak Cliff in the opener, 10 points to Waxahachie, 3 to Skyline, and that is it. And Javian Council has been as much a part of that as anybody. And you see him being helped off the field right now. Duncanville does have depth. A.J. Brown, Davon Cherry, they're two defensive tackles that may come on the field in place of Javion Council, but he's their starter for a reason, and that is potentially a significant blow to this Panthers defense. Good to see as he gets closer to the sideline, was walking with more ease.
Yeah, he operates as the anchor for this defensive line. His ability to just gobble up those blockers inside and allow guys like Colin Simmons to eat on the outside, other guys like Alex January, February, March, and April to do his thing as well.
Duffy up the middle has the first down to the 40 in Duncanville territory. And this was our question the last time. Wow, this was the same possession. This is the same DeSoto possession when we started in with, hey, can DeSoto move the football? That was late first quarter, and there have been many penalties and many things that have happened since that point. But at least so far on this possession, the answer has been yes, even though it's been a bit herky-jerky in moments.
And look at DeSoto going with a little bit of hurry-up of their own.
2nd down and 6. Handoff Duffy. Picking his way forward again as hopping on his back was Alex January, but not before he gets down to the 31, and it will be 3rd down and 1.
And you see that Javion Council go out in the middle. They are taking advantage of that with the run from Duffy.
Duffy's got the first down to the 27.
And that's Alex January again. 2 back-to-back tackles. But yeah, you asked the question, can they move the ball? Well, yes, absolutely they can. They've had to have some magic happen, but they have moved the ball.
Bailey pressured, has to throw it, finally gets it away, has a man complete. It's Duffy, and he'll get to the 20-yard line. Incredible patience from DJ Bailey with pressure in his face.
How cool and composed is this kid? I'm freaking out for him up here, and with the pressure that he has in his face. And at the last minute, he unleashes the ball, and wow,
and he took a hit too to deliver that pass.
He did. But Sam Houston has got themselves a really good quarterback.
Handoff up the middle for Jalen Jones. First time we've called his name today. He will have enough for a first down at the 16-yard line, and DeSoto's moved their way into the red zone.
Now they have a stable of backs. And just imagine that their #1 guy, Reardon, is nursing that injury and hadn't played much this season, and they're just waiting on him for the playoffs. Wow. I love this DeSoto Eagles front. This offensive line, they're not backing down, and they are trying to get to the second level. They have had some success.
It'll be 2nd down and 8. 4 minutes into this second quarter. Handoff for Jones, cutting to the outside, dragging tacklers inside the 10. 3rd down and 2 at the 9-yard line.
I'm absolutely loving this brand of football that the Eagles are playing with. This is all ground assault right here. And Jones back to the well again.
1st and goal, DeSoto.
And Mike, for me, it's just smash mouth football.
Time out, Duncanville, and the DeSoto sideline is going nuts. This is a game, Hackma Harrison, where belief for the DeSoto Eagles, frankly, a little hard to come by in years gone by. We did the game when they played in September of 2021. DeSoto jumped out 14-0 on them real quick, looked great. And Duncanville annihilated them, frankly, the rest of the game to the tune of 42-7 the rest of the way, 42-21 final score. But once Duncanville turned it on, it was a wrap. A year ago, in the driving rain, Duncanville just bullied them, moved them around the field, and that game was frankly never close. It's been a long time since DeSoto has beaten this Duncanville team. Regular season, playoffs, it's been a minute. they felt like they had something last year. There was belief. Claude Mathis had belief coming into that game last year. And frankly, Duncanville squashed that belief. It is building on that sideline right now.
No, it is. And if you can't hear this from the crowd, the belief is also in this stadium for the DeSoto Eagles as well.
Handoff Duffy, lowering his shoulder. Stood up at the 1.5, maybe the 2-yard line officially is where they're going to spot him. 2nd down and goal.
And you see it in this Eagles team as well. They are not backing down from the challenge from the Panthers. They are continuing to run this play over and over again, and
Duffy,
they are going to get into the end zone.
Duffy's in. Touchdown DeSoto, and the Eagles take the lead back.
And that may be a deciding drive that we'll stick a pin in, come back and talk about that drive. So many things had to happen right. DJ Bailey, literally a magician with the football. You thought he was down. They allow the play to go on. He makes a play across the middle of the field.
You still get the penalty.
Then there's a penalty. It moves it back, and then he has to do the incredible again to get a first down with Singleton, and then they take out Marvin Duffy, who was the bell cow on that drive, and bring in a change of pace with number 21, Jalen Jones, and he caps the drive. Like, to me, that is going to be one of those drives that for DeSoto, they can come back to at the end of the year and say, this is when things change for us. And this is just living in that moment, and I love to see this DeSoto Eagles stand up here and say, look, this
field, doing it with Marvin Duffy and Jalen Jones to take the lead back 21-14. Now on the return near side, Theus run out of bounds at the 24-yard line. 8,400 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. We do appreciate you so very much for being here today with us for the game of the year in Texas high school football. Heck, I'm hesitant to wonder, is there a postseason game that will outdo this one? I mean,
I don't know.
Eventually you got to imagine some state semifinal, state championship game. If we're so fortunate to get Duncanville North Shore again in the title game, okay, that wins. But it's going to take a lot to top this one.
Yeah, but Mike, we almost didn't call this one due to the World Series, but we almost did not call this one. Keelan Russell back to the line of scrimmage, makes a throw out on the outside, and just like that, DeSoto there for a short gain by the Panthers.
Is good for a 3-yard gain. Brings up 2nd down and 7.
Apologies, we had some technical difficulties there, but I think that we are back up and running now for you.
Technical difficulties?
We had the feed, it looked like froze up for a second, but we are back now. Please share the news around with your friends that we're back up and running now. If you did, I'm not sure. Oh, ball's out. Ball's out very late in the play, and DeSoto's on top of it. The recovery by Macaulay McKellar, and it's Eagle football.
Zachary Turner, the H-back tight end who we've just talked about, and a guy that went out with an injury, came back on the field. And, man, this DeSoto Eagles defense swarming and ripping at the ball. It's like that's number 10 for the DeSoto Eagles. Makai McKellar with the strip, and the Eagles are in the red zone again.
So 1st and 10 for DeSoto at the 25-yard line. Again, sorry for the connection getting a little shaky there for a second, but we are back up and running now. A touchdown run by Marvin Duffy, capping a methodical DeSoto drive to take a 21-14 lead, is how DeSoto took the lead back here early on in this second quarter. And now a fumble by Duncanville. The ball ripped out of the hands of Zach Turner. The recovery by Macaulay McKellar, and it is DeSoto football, 2nd down and 7 in Duncanville territory. Ball tipped in the air and will fall harmlessly incomplete. Some more extracurriculars after this play. No flags yet. Now a push, and that won't draw a flag either. The officials doing everything they can to try and keep this contained and calm. It's a challenge. Again, we talked about the emotion of this game, Heckma. It is incredible, and for good reason. These two teams are arguably the two best teams in the state, and they are separated by a very short distance just down the road from each other.
And you say arguably, I would love to hear the argument on this one, because
well, the only argument is North Shore.
Absolutely,
that's it.
But I'm going to go with these two are the best in the state.
3rd down and 7. Handoff. Duffy undercut. Down inside the 20-yard line at the 19. Now more after the play. Mason Williams getting tangled up with Byron Washington. A flag did come in. We'll see who this one is on.
And hopefully this is an offsetting penalty.
But sportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 5. On the defense, actually on the defense, number 5. On the offense, 76. Was fouls offset. 4th down.
That does feel right in this circumstance. These two, that particular scrap felt very even. For one to be penalized more than the other wouldn't have felt terribly fair. Offsetting penalties, result of the play stands. 4th down and 7 for DeSoto. And they will kick the field goal from the left hash. It will be a 35-yarder off the foot of Angel Diaz, the senior. DeSoto already up 7, looking to add to the advantage here. Again, please do share the feed around with your friends. Let them know that we are back online and operational. We had a momentary hang up as the field goal from the left hash from 35 is no good. Wide to the right. There was some hesitancy from the two officials.
Because from my angle, and again, we're not down at field angle, we're over here. Our vantage point isn't that good, but it looked good from where we were. They had to go into a little bit of a conference. What you think? And they say, no, it wasn't good. I want to say this, though, that Panthers defense, that's a great stance to, after Zachary Turner's fumble, to not give up any points right there by the Duncanville defense.
The field goal attempt from Angel Diaz, perhaps right over top of that right upright. It was very, very close, ultimately no good. And these two schools separated by just 7 miles, still separated by just 7 points. To the air goes Russell over the middle. It somehow got home to Zach Turner, and they move the chains out across the 40.
And how about that for belief in your sophomore? He fumbles the ball. What do? They come right back to him, because that's not Turner's MO.
And now here goes Caden Durham right up the gut. Caden Durham off to the races. This kid can change the football game in a snap, and he just did. Touchdown, Duncanville.
Here's the problem with number 29. If you don't gain tackle, this guy, when he gets to the second level, it's too late. He's too fast, it's too shifty. And most of the times, no one's going to get a hand on him, Mike. Even if this was flag football, they wouldn't have touched his flag.
And Caden Durham with the touchdown run ties this football game once again at 21 apiece.
This is so good. This is so good. And to think we almost missed it, Mike.
We almost did, my man.
Thank you, Weather God.
We almost did.
You knew better. You knew better. Yes.
Thank you, Lightning. And we are here. 21-all mid-second quarter on Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit. It's agony and victory. Diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
21-all here in the second quarter, and DeSoto looking to answer once again. The return in the hands of Antonio Pride out to the 25-yard line, and they will go back to work.
So now the question is, there needs to be an answer from the DeSoto Eagles, because that was a strike and I think took a little bit of the wind out of the sails of this Eagles team, seeing Caden Durham race to that end zone.
They've been so good against the run today, and it's really just been two big pops from Caden Durham, one from 36 and then the one just a couple moments ago to tie this game back up. Other than that, they've done a nice job slowing down that Duncanville run game. But the carry here starts off the possession well for DeSoto in the hands of Marvin Duffy. Heck, but they have found something. Beg your pardon, this one was Jalen Jones. They have found something with this play design that Duncanville just can't seem to stop right now.
Yeah, Jalen Jones just continues to be that change of pace back. That, like you said, it's causing some difficulty right now for this Panthers defense, and it is getting contentious and very physical up front. You see helmets flying off, bodies flying over the top of piles.
No flag on that one. Javian Council lost his helmet as a block just sent him over top of the pile. Another carry here for Jones brings him close to first down yardage, right at the 46-yard line. It'll be third down and a yard, maybe less than a yard here for DeSoto.
And they're going right back to the line of scrimmage.
And
same
right back
play
to that play. And enough for a first down, but that's it. Colin Simmons came away with the helmet of somebody from DeSoto, and a flag comes in after the play.
How do you not?
I think that's probably the thought process of the officiating crew, is how do you end up?
From the defense, number 8, pulling the helmet off. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the road. First down.
And sure enough, that is the ruling from our referee today, Bill Theodore. He's the one who threw the flag. He's saying, well, you must have committed a penalty because you got an opponent's helmet in your hand.
You're holding the evidence. You may want to drop that. Wow. Now here's this part of the game now where Duncanville is having some of those penalties that's given new life to this Eagles team.
Whistles before the snap, and Mathis burns his second timeout here of the half. So both teams will have one timeout remaining here in this first half with 4:09 to play in the period.
Poor Claude Mathis not happy after having to burn that timeout. He has an offensive lineman trying to run on the field. Pick number 70, Dylan Johnson.
This is a meeting of the two defending state champions in 6A Division I and Division II. Duncanville won it all in 6A D1 over North Shore, giving their legendary head coach Reginald Samples, our color commentator Heckma Harrison's former head coach at Lincoln High back in the early 90s, his first and well-deserved state championship a year ago back in December. And DeSoto, number 3 in the state rankings right now, winning 6A Division II, giving Claude Mathis his first championship, the second in school history. The first one won back in 2016 with Todd Peterman as the head coach here at DeSoto. Todd Peterman, who is now the offensive coordinator at Duncanville. There's a lot of interconnection between these programs. 1st and 10 for DJ Bailey, well protected, fires deep, he's got a man right on target. He dropped it right on his man, and it's Dalen Singleton for the 3rd time today.
Number 13 is a problem. Look at the separation calls there on the outside, and you're not giving any help to Derek Brown on the outside, and this is the 2nd time that Dylan Singleton has found pay dirt. 1 on the kickoff and 2 on that same ball. He is just too fast.
27-21. DeSoto back in front. Extra point from Angel Diaz is up and through, and DeSoto has reestablished their 1-touchdown lead with a 37-yard touchdown pass up the right sideline from DJ Bailey to Dalen Singleton. 28-21 DeSoto. Heckma Harrison, we have got ourselves as tightly contested a Duncanville DeSoto game as we've had in recent memory.
No, this is something about this one. I think we didn't say it at the beginning. Screams of instant classic, because right now these defenses are really kind of non-existent here in the 2nd quarter. They both are having their way, and I don't think either one of us would have thought that we'd have said that.
Not for a second.
Especially in a game that the Duncanville Panthers defense is on the field. But man, that penalty, and I believe it was the Colin Simmons personal foul that allowed that drive to continue, now down on the Panthers end. Let's see if there's going to be a response from the Duncanville Panthers.
The last time the DeSoto Eagles beat Duncanville, it was the first year that they did win a state championship. It was in October of 2016. They won that game 41-17. Since then, Duncanville has had their number with wins in 17, 2 in 21, a 3rd in the 2021 season, and then again last year, exactly a year ago today. On the return, Asen Theus twisting his way outside the 25 to the 28.
And again, I just got to point this out, as Asen Theus does a good job on the return and even better on the coverage there for the DeSoto Eagles. There has been no Decorian Moore here in the first half. I mean, that is Decorian Moore. I'm just going to say he's probably 30-40% of this offense in the big play ability that the Panthers have.
We did ask Reginald Samples before the game if anybody was going to be missing today, and his answer was no. But at least to this point, no Decorian Moore for the Panthers. Pressure and taken down. The sack by Kiki Abrams.
How about that from number 15 coming off of the edge? He is matched up with number 50, Deshaun Bryant, and he just burns him around the edge for the sack on Keelan Russell. Keelan Russell keeping his eyes up the field, not realizing that he has number 15 barreling down on him.
2nd down and 13 here for Russell. To the air, has a man complete right at the 37-yard line, a yard shy of the line to gain. Asen Theus on the reception.
Yeah,
Decorian Moore is standing on the sideline. I just saw him in the shot wearing number 1. He's standing right behind an assistant coach at the 35-yard line. No helmet to be seen. We will keep an eye on that as Durham carries for just enough for the 1st down.
See Jamari Lane in on the tackle on Caden Durham. Caden Durham just has those times where you see he'll pick up 2 yards, 3 yards, 6, and the next thing you know, he's 80 yards to the house.
First and 10 at the 39. Handoff Durham, nowhere to go. This has been night and day, Heckma Harrison, from the defensive front from the DeSoto Eagles in their ability to handle the run game from Duncanville.
Yeah, this is, look, one of the things that I am just noticing, both of these squads, the trenches, the offensive line, defensive line for both teams doing a wonderful job. But it's those times that you, like you just mentioned, if the Eagles just one alignment here to the left or to the right, Caden Durham doesn't need much room to get a touchdown or to burn your defense.
Second down, ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and incomplete. Getting his hands on the football was Jamari Lay.
Jamari Lay in on that last tackle, but that was a very good tip of the ball, because if that's able to get out to the flat, I think that the Panthers have them outflanked maybe for a big game.
Third down and 10. They've got to get to the 49 on their own side of the field. 2:01 here left in this first half. Over the middle, nice grab. Hauled in by Nate McCoy, and that'll be enough to move the chains. Ball's out. Ball's out and recovered by DeSoto. No stoppage of the play. He was not down according to the officials, and it's Eagles football, their second big takeaway of this quarter.
And I'm waiting on the replay, but Nate McCoy looked like he was down. He cuts back to the middle of the field. No, ball's out.
Yeah, well
Ball
called
is
by
out.
the officiating crew.
Ball is out.
First down, DeSoto.
Correctly called by our officiating crew. That ball came out as he was lunging forward for extra yardage. Still up. Ball's out. DeSoto ball, and their second big fumble recovery here in the quarter.
Now that's 2 so far by the Panthers.
First down and 10 at the 48-yard line here for DeSoto. Handoff up the middle, and there goes Jalen Jones once again, hopping his way for a first down.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
This time, nowhere to go for Jalen Jones. Stood up immediately by A.J. Brown. It'll be third down and 3. One timeout remaining for DeSoto, $1:15 in the period. Both teams, in fact, have one timeout left. They've got to get to the 38 to move the chains. Bailey throwing far side, complete, first down and then some. Inside the 30-yard line, DeSoto moves the chains, and now they'll hurry up with exactly 1 minute left in the quarter.
And Dalen Singleton, man, he has this Duncanville secondary holding their breath every time he comes out for a route, because you don't know if this guy's going to go for a go ball, where he's going with. They changed the cornerback out on their side. They're going with number 3, Davian Holiday.
Nice work by the Duncanville defensive front on that one to push this offensive line backward. Clock continues to run. DeSoto not using that one timeout they have yet. It'll be second down and a dozen. 26 seconds left. Handoff, Duffy picking his way forward. Nice run inside the 25 to the 22. Clock still running. I'm a little surprised they're not using that timeout. I guess they're just saving it to kick a field goal. You would have thought you could have gotten maybe a shot to the end zone or two if you had called that timeout and then kicked the field goal, but they go end zone and they've got a man! Flag on the play, but underneath it for the catch is DeSoto's Antonio Pride, and for the moment, with no time on the clock, DeSoto's built a 2-score lead.
I think they're going to get Pride. Let's see how this goes.
DeSoto acting like it's going to be against Duncanville.
Wow. Wow. What a response. And that's Antonio Pride on the post. What a move by Pride at the last second. Owning it. They have Kadavian Dotson, the free safety, out in coverage. And Antonio Pride with the touchdown. Hey, what do we know? Who needs a timeout?
Heckma Harrison, something is percolating here in DeSoto, Texas. The extra point is up and through, and the number 3 team in the state rankings, the DeSoto Eagles, lead by 14 at halftime at home. Bailey to Pride for the touchdown as the clock expired in the second quarter. The 22-yard hookup gives DeSoto a 35-21 lead at halftime on Friday Night Football. A shocker in this lightning-delayed Saturday edition.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
And now, the Friday Night Football halftime show sponsored by Golden Chick.
And ordinarily, we would have a halftime show for you from the 2 respective bands, the DeSoto Eagle Band, the Duncanville Panthers Band. But because of the lightning delay of yesterday, it would appear anyway, we're fairly sure there are no bands here today. So as a result, you get me and Heckma over the course of the next 20 minutes worth of time. They do have 20 minutes on the clock instead of 28 right now, so that will help move things along a shade quicker. They have just now started the 20-minute clock, so we will kick off the second half of this football game at approximately 3:42. It is ordinarily a 28-minute halftime, and sometimes it extends to more like 30 or 31 to let the bands get their halftime show in. Instead, today, a hair shorter, just give these teams a chance to catch their breath and be ready to go for quarter number 3. So we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here in DeSoto. Mike Leslie and Heckma Harrison here with you. I'm still battling the infection in my eye that happened, I'm pretty sure, in the champagne celebration down in Houston for the Texas Rangers after they won the ALCS. It's almost gone. Believe it or not, this is better than it was a couple days ago, but it's still not fully quite healthy just yet. So we're getting there. I'm hoping I wake up tomorrow morning and this thing is fully cleared up, but we're getting there. We're making progress. So too is the DeSoto offense making significant progress. 35-21 DeSoto at halftime. We talked about it pregame that a DeSoto win would be seismic. They are 24 minutes worth of the way there. An incredible first half from Claude Mathis' football team.
Well, it really is starting to feel like that, Mike. I think from the energy that they came out with initially, from the kickoff, from that first drive for the first touchdown, every time Duncanville has done something, the Eagles have responded with a big play of their own, offensively and defensively and special teams. So all 3 phases, they have literally dominated in some capacity here in this first half. I'm shocked, for lack of better words, with the way that DeSoto has just handled them. This first play right here with Dalen Singleton, I think anyone thinking to go man-to-man coverage on this kid is making a mistake. He is just way too fast, and the way that he got out right there, there was absolutely nothing that Tyderick Brown could do about that speed.
Dalen Singleton's a young man that Claude Mathis told us about a couple years ago. They had Jonte Cook here at DeSoto, of course, over the last several years. He's now down at UT, as is a lot of the talent that comes out of this area recently. And Jonte Cook was everything for this program for a little while. 4-star, 5-star prospect. And I remember when Jonte Cook was coming up through the ranks, was only a freshman or sophomore, and Claude Mathis said to me, just wait, Jonte Cook's going to be a 5-star before he walks off of this DeSoto campus, and sure enough, he was right. So it carried a lot of weight with me when a couple of years later, now Jonte, I believe, was a junior, and Dalen Singleton was just a freshman. And Claude Mathis said to me, just you wait. Dalen Singleton is next.
Yes.
He was next as a freshman. He was next last year as a sophomore because Jonte was still here. Now as a junior, it is his time, and it has been his time today. The opening touchdown, a 76-yard reception. The 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He's got another touchdown reception as well in this football game. 3 touchdowns in total on the day for Dalen Singleton. This, the 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown that we did kind of laugh about because he probably did fumble this football before he crossed the line. But again, no review in Texas high school football until we get to the state championship game. So the play stood, and it was at that point 14-3 in favor of DeSoto. It is currently 35-21 in favor of the DeSoto Eagles. The thing that I think impresses me most about what we've seen from Claude Mathis' team so far in this football game is they did start out so unbelievably hot. 1 play from scrimmage, touchdown. Kickoff return for a touchdown, 14-3 lead. And all the while, Duncanville's offense was just kind of methodically marching, got a couple of ill-timed penalties from the DeSoto defense to keep some drives alive. We saw a lot of the Duncanville offense on the field for a lot of that first quarter.
Yes.
And it kind of felt like when Duncanville came back and tied this game up at 14, like, oh, all right, here comes the number 1 team in the state, the defending state champions.
Absolutely.
Now they've got their legs underneath them. And DeSoto found an answer, and found another answer, and found another answer. To be able to bark back after that is, frankly, a change from what we've seen in this meeting in years gone by.
And then also getting the 2 turnovers from the Panthers as well. Zachary Turner turns the ball over. I believe it was number 13 for the Panthers that turned the ball over as well. They turned those into points. And so making them pay as well for those mistakes that they're making. Look, that first half was probably as ugly a football as we've seen the Panthers play all season. The penalties, the ejections on the other side, the referees are just trying to wrangle things in and get the emotions under wraps. But finally, as this game started to settle, you started to see the true identity of both of these teams start to emerge. Caden Durham starts getting those long touchdowns. He has 2 in the first half. But then DJ Bailey, he went to work. He basically is standing back there in the pocket. He's throwing balls out in the flat. He's getting those long, those post routes, those hitches. Everything is going for this DeSoto Eagles offense. And finally, they get rhythm. I think it's something that you pointed out when you started talking about this offensive line and also these running backs, Marvin Duffy and Jalen Jones, that 1-2 punch, I think that is really what opened the game up for the Eagles, because once they started to get that going and they were running that play with Jalen Jones repeatedly in that A-gap, and man, next thing you know, they rattle off 14 just like that.
About 14 minutes left before we start half number 2 of this football game. Again, 35-21, the score in favor of the DeSoto Eagles at halftime. We will step aside for a moment. We're going to try and put together some stats for you from the first half of this football game and come right back and keep taking you through what we've seen to this point in the biggest high school football game of the 2023 season. DeSoto and Duncanville at halftime here in DeSoto.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Thanks, Dunkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
You need a team you can trust to prepare you for the day.
We are making sure that you have all the information you need.
Looking out for you.
So we do have the heat advisory and air quality alert in effect for today.
Bold reporting.
Reporting from Plano.
Red flag warning in place.
Dynamic coverage.
Live from Addison.
Original content.
We are staying on top of this story, of course. Be safe out there on the roads. It's going to be a great time.
I am up with daybreak. What about you?
As we welcome you back here in DeSoto, 35-21, the lead for the Eagles, the number 3 team in the state, the defending 6A Division II state champions, leading the defending 6A Division I state champs, the Duncanville Panthers, in this rivalry matchup that has become such an annual affair. Sometimes twice a year they'll play, in years past where they've ended up both in 6A Division I and they've played each other in regional finals. There have been many important games between these two teams. I'm not sure that this one necessarily would be tabbed as the most important matchup because, again, there have been playoff meetings between these two teams, berths in state semifinals that have been on the line when these two teams played in back-to-back years, if memory serves, in the 2020 and 2021 seasons. However, I don't know if there's ever been a bigger matchup of these two teams, with them both coming in as defending state champions, with them both coming in as 2 of the top 3 teams in the state rankings. This game was massive from the jump, and it has played out in a rather entertaining fashion to this point.
And just to think we almost didn't make it. I got to keep bringing that up, Mike. But I think what you're seeing play out also is just there is no separation in talent between these two teams. No matter how you chalk it up, you can write all the articles all you want, but then they come out here and they play the game, and you see it in real time that DeSoto is really good, and on the outside speed position, Singleton is, man, he's outstanding.
Yep.
And they're trying to find an answer for him, and I just think it's literally going to come down to the second half, to just seeing if DeSoto in some kind of way can get this running game going, because that's the one component to this game that I don't think that you've seen. DeSoto obviously in the air has been outstanding, but on the ground for the complete first half, you saw the Panthers start to chip away when it turned out that they came with the 2 running back system, and you got the change of pace there to end the second half, in the second quarter was when you started to see that separation start to take place between Marvin Duffy and Jalen Jones, as I pointed out. But right now, the star of the show, I have to say, is Singleton. The way that he played, I think, has everybody in the nation looking at this game and saying, where did this guy come from?
An incredible first half from Dalen Singleton, a 76-yard touchdown reception, a 96-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He had another touchdown reception in that second quarter to establish a 28-21 lead in favor of the DeSoto Eagles. And they have now grown it to 35-21 as we get ready for the start of this second half. An important note, Heckma Harrison, Duncanville will have the ball to start the second half. DeSoto received the opening kickoff.
And I think in coming out here in the second half, they've got to be sure about what they want to do. It's going to be about getting this running game started, back up again with Caden Durham, but also just dominating up front on that offensive line. I think that this Eagles defensive line haven't had their way, but they really have. It has been a stalemate. And I think for everybody out there, you were thinking that this Panthers offense would be a lot more dominant than they are right now. So this first drive is going to be very important.
We do have a performance on the field for you right now, so good to see that as well. Let's go ahead and take a look, though, at the highlights from the first half of this football game, as we have seen quite a show from these two teams. Very first play from scrimmage up top. DJ Bailey went to Dalen Singleton off play action, and Singleton showing off the speed, the 76-yard touchdown reception, and Duncan and DeSoto started off very quickly. Duncanville answered with a field goal, but then here comes Singleton again, 96 yards on the kickoff return for a touchdown, and DeSoto led 14-3.
Yeah, you see it right there, and that's the ball comes out, but not before he puts his head over the finish line. That just really was the separation, and I think both of us had that moment where we looked at each other and was like, what are we seeing? But Caden Durham escaping out the back door, making it look easy as he always does.
The 36-yard touchdown run made it 14-all and tightened this game right back up. It was 14-14 after one quarter. Again, at that point, we thought, all right, Duncanville has barked back, but here came DeSoto again, a long, methodical drive. Marvin Duffy capping it off with a 2-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, and you're seeing this offensive line for the Eagles just stomping through, and that was the play right there. You see, that's from Zachary Turner. I thought that may have been the fumble, but that's the long run right there from Caden Durham. Man, just, again, making it look easy. He's almost untouched every time he's going into the end zone.
They were back to the line of scrimmage that quickly after the Turner catch that we didn't even catch the beginning of Durham's touchdown run. 21-all, but then back comes DeSoto. Bailey to Dalen Singleton again. 28-21 with 4 minutes left in that second quarter. This fumble here was huge from Nate McCoy, recovered by Brandon Booker from DeSoto, and that leads to, on the final play of the half, they go up top, hauled in by Antonio Pride for the touchdown, and with no time on the clock in that second quarter, DeSoto builds a 35-21 halftime lead. Unbelievable. And now they've got to maintain it, but unbelievable the first half of play from the DeSoto Eagles.
And both of us looking at each other there with 7 seconds ticking down, asking ourselves, what is Claude Mathis doing? Why isn't he calling a timeout? Because he knew he had the Antonio Pride play coming up. And, man, you see DJ Bailey unload this, and at the last minute, Pride makes the cut, and the flag comes out also. So not only was there a score, there was the flag. Man, that's a PI and 1 for Antonio Pride. And right now, the Eagles are giving the Panthers all that they can handle. What a game. What a game.
We will take a step aside here. 35-21 the score. Second half, 3 minutes away. We'll look to bring you halftime stats here before the kickoff of the third quarter, right after this on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delcas.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Thanks for watching the Friday Night Football Halftime Show, sponsored by Golden Chick.
Second half about ready to get underway with Duncanville and DeSoto. 35-21 our halftime score. Give you a look at the stats through 2 quarters of play. 35-21 DeSoto leading on the scoreboard. 16-12 their edge in first downs. The yardage pretty even overall, but they're doing it in different ways. DeSoto primarily doing it through the air. Penalties, not a real surprise to see a decently high number from both teams. Really, though, heck of the story of the game.
No,
is that bottom line.
No, absolutely. Those turnovers, I think, have cost the Panthers. But I stand corrected when I said that the Eagles have to get their running game going. They have 83 yards in the first half. I think we're just looking at the 174 on the
fair enough, yes.
We're looking at Kate Durham and saying, all right, guys, we just need to compete with that. But they're doing a great job of just staying balanced. That offense right now, the receiving yards, I want to see this Panthers defense try and get more pressure on DJ Bailey. He's looked really comfortable. There's also been a few times where Colin Simmons has been close but hadn't been able to get any sacks. That's the guy I want to see get going as well, is number 8, Colin Simmons, our player to watch here, to see him start to exact his dominance. So far, I believe that this offensive line for the DeSoto Eagles has done a really good job holding him in check as well.
Something else to keep an eye on here as this second half gets started. Will we see DeCorian Moore on the field for the Duncanville Panthers? One of the very best wide receivers in the country in the junior class, a phenomenally talented football player who did not see the field in the first half. We asked Reginald Samples pregame if they had any injury issues, if anybody wasn't going to be playing today. He said no. He said, we're good. He said, we got some guys that are dinged up, but everybody's playing. There is DeCorian Moore for the first time today. We're seeing him with a helmet on. Perhaps number 1 is about to take the field for the Duncanville Panthers. And Heckma Harrison, I don't think we need to tell the viewing audience at home what a difference maker he can be.
No, tell him. He is definitely that dude. He is him, as the young people say. He's him. And
yes,
that's DeCorian Moore, the LSU commit in his class, the absolute best. The absolute best. The kid that stretches the field, man, and is absolutely amazing to watch how fast and how quick that guy is.
And sure enough, out walks number 1 on the football field in a white jersey into that offensive huddle for Duncanville on the far sideline. You see him right there on the right side of the huddle. DeCorian Moore did not play the first 24 minutes of the football game. He's back on the field now.
There is a backstory to that, and we'll find out what that is after this game, Mike.
1st and 10 from the 25 for Duncanville. Russell throws far side. Turner breaks a tackle and goes upfield. Run out of bounds. Flag comes in late on that one.
Going to get a hit out of bounds on Zach Turner.
There's a flag on the play.
I tell you what, these referees have stayed consistent with their calls.
They have. Jamari Lay hit with the penalty there. That one felt a little innocuous to me. It didn't feel like it was that egregious, where we've seen a lot in this game, and I definitely understand, hey, they're trying to keep everything tamped down, keep everything under wraps, keep this a football game and nothing else, and that's totally fair. But that one didn't feel like it was that big of a deal. It does bring Duncanville out to the 49-yard line. Handoff Durham, snowed under after a gain of 1 right to the midfield stripe.
Yeah, and I want to agree with you, but I've just seen they've been so consistent in throwing those flags at each stop. Anytime there's been anything close, out of bounds, they're going to throw a flag, as we have a DeSoto Eagle defender on the field. It's like that's number 44.
That would be Marshall Curvin. He's getting worked on that left leg, it appears. The way he's acting about it and the way that they were working on him, it seemed to be in the range of a cramp. Eagles fans certainly hoping he'll be back on the field here in short order.
Yeah, been a big part of the success that they've had up front has Marshall Curvins. Even though the temperature has dropped here in Dallas, still a bit of humidity in the air as well.
Coming out of the timeout, 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers.
So the injury timeout yields 2nd down and 9 now. Keelan Russell and the Duncanville Panthers, the defending state champs, with a false start on 2nd down and 9.
Number 50.
Deshaun Bryant, number 50, moves, and he is ticked off at somebody. Maybe he thought he had the count right and everybody else had it wrong.
So 2nd down and 14. Pressure. Russell trying to dance away, breaks a tackle. Look at Keelan Russell picking up the 1st down.
And Keelan Russell looks like he is about to take a sack or at least a nasty hit, and he splits 2 DeSoto Eagle defenders to pick up that 1st down. That's a great run from number 12.
Quick throw far side. Turner has got the 1st down.
And he is so big, Mike. That is a big kid down there, just a sophomore. It is going to be unfair to see what he looks like once he gets to his senior year. He has given this DeSoto Eagles team fits out on the outside.
1st and 10 at the 29. Russell strung out, nowhere to go with the football. On this one, it's going to be a loss of 3.
Looked like maybe they were trying to go back to Zachary Turner. That wasn't a designed run, but good job from Keelan Russell, not putting that possession in danger, but trying to force a pass into number 9. He decides to obviously take it himself, but there's a loss.
2nd down and a dozen on this opening drive of the 2nd half here for Duncanville. Near side, Theus on the wide receiver screen. He's close to 1st down yardage, just a hair shy right at the 20-yard stripe. It's going to be 3rd down and 1.
The way that they've used Asen Theus is just getting him out on the outside and making guys make a decision on the angle that they take. He's such a speedster.
Handoff Durham, nowhere to go, driven back. It's going to be 4th and 2.
And that's what I think I've been asking from the DeSoto Eagles defense, is just play tough at the point of attack and don't get pushed back, because when they do that, that's when Caden Durham becomes so dangerous, because he puts his foot down, splits the difference, and he's off to the races.
4th down and 2. Wildcat quarterback here for Durham. Movement at the snap, and it's a false start.
False start from the offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
Heckma Harrison, when have we ever seen Duncanville this way?
No, we haven't. We haven't, and I think that's where we're both kind of it's shocked to see, one, the undisciplined things like that happening, jumping off sides, but here they are in fourth down, and Keelan Russell comes back out on the field for what seems like fourth and forever.
They've got to get to the 19, 4th and 7 officially. Another flag. Another false start.
They've gotten Deshaun Bryant twice.
Number 50, 5-yard penalty, remains fourth down.
The Duncanville coaching staff, 5 of them out onto the field hollering at this offense, trying to get them lined up.
Yeah, he has Keelan Abrams out on his side, so Deshaun Bryant just trying to get that kick stance back quick enough to not allow number 15 around the edge.
4th and 12 now. Russell with 2 wide receivers to either side. Did he do it again?
He did it again.
He did it again. Now, they haven't thrown the flag yet.
Well, he jumped.
Officials are discussing. I do not see a flag on the field yet. But everybody certainly reacted. Even the line judge started walking in like he was going to throw a flag, and the umpire intercepted him.
Disconcerting signals on the defense, number 15.
So that goes against the DeSoto defense. That gives 5 yards back to Duncanville. If you didn't hear it from our official, disconcerting signals is the call. They get DeSoto for mocking the snap count of Keelan Russell. So now 4th and 7 once again. 2 wides to either side for Russell. Straight drop, pressured, near side for Durham. He's got a long way to go. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, dives forward. I don't think he got it. Stopped at the 22-yard line. Turnover on downs. DeSoto's defense makes the stand.
Wow, and what a stance that was, because Caden Durham, look at this. He breaks one tackle, the initial tackle right here, puts his hand down, 2 tackles, and needed to break that third to pick up the first down, but man, not for a lack of effort from number 29, Caden Durham.
Turnover on downs. Eagles ball.
Wow.
Up 2 scores early on in the 3rd quarter. And the eyes of the Texas high school football world are on this football game. 10,000 of you watching right now. 10,108 on the WFAA YouTube channel right now here in the 3rd quarter. DJ Bailey going back to work for the Eagles. Hands off for Duffy, who picks his way for 5.
And that's what's really in this game. Duffy on first down. Those 3-4 yards Duffy continues to pick up, and oh my, it's like he's limping here a little bit. Hopefully he's okay, but that's just strong running inside by number 27, Marvin Duffy.
Jones checks in place of Duffy, and he gets snowed under. Well played by Alex January. A loss of about a yard. It's going to be 3rd and 6.
And we just call him the calendar. That's what we do. We just call him the calendar. All of the months of the year is number 11. Alex, man, he's just a problem to deal with in the interior.
Colin Simmons coming screaming off the edge. We'll see if that goes against him or the left tackle, Ronell McClain. DeSoto pointing, and they're correct.
Yeah, not only are they pointing, they're moving. So they're going to get number 8. As we talked about it earlier, we wanted to see number 8 emerge. Guy that really is college ready right now.
3rd down and a yard because of the penalty. Handoff near side, 1st down in the hands of Jalen Jones.
And there's been some changes on the outside for the Duncanville Panthers, as now they've gone with Javian Holiday, a junior, out at the cornerback position.
1st and 10, DeSoto at their own 34. 5 minutes gone by here, 3rd quarter. Nowhere to go for Jones on this carry. Javian Council first on the scene. Kevin Ford Jr. there as well. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Been watching Marvin Duffy over here on the sidelines. Is putting his helmet back on. Hopefully he's okay. He has been really good for the Eagles. He's picked up some really tough yards.
2nd down and 10. Over the middle, nice throw, knocked away. Diving in to make the play, Nehemiah Borner.
Yeah, Barner, again, Sam linebacker, they use him in a variety of ways. He is a guy that acts as a rover. We've seen him out in coverage as well, and a guy that comes screaming off the edge and blitzes. Love the way that they use number 24.
Mike Leslie, Heckma Harrison here with you on Friday Night Football. Mid-3rd quarter, DeSoto up 35-21, facing 3rd and 10. Pressure, Bailey gets away, fires, nearly intercepted twice. 2 Panthers had a chance at it. E.J. McKinney had the best shot. He couldn't grab it. Neither could Taj DeGreat. 4th down, though. Duncanville forces the punt.
And look at Colin Simmons in the interior. He's rushing from pretty much a guard position with the spin move, getting back up the field. And first time you see him get his, well, 2nd time on DJ Bailey, just not able to bring him down. But for the first time, we're seeing DJ Bailey kind of be indecisive with the ball and almost turn it over.
He got away with that one. They do have to punt it away. Wobbly kick up the near sideline, out of bounds, well out of bounds. Where are they going to mark this one? It's going to be good field position for the Duncanville Panthers at their own 49-yard line. Back comes Keelan Russell. Panthers down 2 scores. Heckma Harrison, they kind of need to go to work now.
No, they do. But also, you got enough time, especially 6:17 here in the 3rd, and just chip away at it. Not so much looking for the big play, but you want to try and get this offense to moving. They had that last drive stall out on the 4th down stance by the DeSoto Eagle defense. Not what we're accustomed to seeing, Mike.
1st and 10 at their own 49. There's DeCorian Moore making his first catch of the day, but cannot break the ankle tackle on the far side. Holding on for dear life was Dre Wisner.
Yeah, Trey Wisner wasn't letting go of that ankle. He was locked on. Look at this. DeCorian Moore trying to get away, but no way, Jose, you're not getting out of this.
Wisner with a vice grip, and it's 2nd down and 10. If Duncanville's going to get back in this game, it feels like it's going to have to include DeCorian Moore. 2nd down and 10, 4 wide receiver set. Russell with pressure in his face, and he goes down. He lost his footing as he tried to get away from Kiki Abrams. A big loss on the play, all the way back to the 37.
Kiki Abrams says, get down or lay down. I'm coming in one way or another. I'm going to get you. Jalen Russell trying to make a move, and like you said, loses his footing.
Kiki Abrams is like, hey, I want credit for that sack.
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
It brings up 3rd down and long for Duncanville.
3rd down for the Panthers. Ball at their own 37. They've got to get to the DeSoto 41 to move the chains.
And now, Mike, they move Zachary Turner, the tight end, out to this side.
They throw it near side. There's Moore. He gets back to the 45-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play, but nowhere near enough. 4th down and a mile, and it looks like the Panthers are indeed going to elect to punt. They really didn't have much choice.
Oh, and number 6, Dre Wisner, down on the field as we're seeing some crampage from both of these squads. Just exerting a lot of energy out here on the field. And this was a game that both of these teams have to get ready for back-to-back because of the weather delay. They thought that there was a possibility that that game could have been played here yesterday, but with the lightning strikes, both of these head coaches deciding that Saturday would be better. Thank you.
We appreciate that very much.
Thank you. But just imagine having to get ready back-to-back for these games, and it takes a lot of energy to do that. It takes a lot of, mental, just have capacity to get ready for a ball game in 48 hours.
Wisner still down, the younger brother of Trey Wisner, the running back for this DeSoto team a year ago when they went and won state in 6A D2. Dre Wisner, a senior now, playing outside linebacker for him.
That is tough.
Again, you certainly hope it's nothing more than a cramp and that he'll be able to come back, but certainly a slow limp for Wisner to the near sideline. Duncanville has to punt it away. Line drive, end over end punt that's going to bounce inside the 5. Can Duncanville get to it? Not quite. Good effort to give chase by Will Kerrigan, the junior, but he couldn't quite get to it as Duncanville tried to pin DeSoto deep.
Boy, Kerrigan is chasing that ball down, because for Duncanville, if you're able to pin the Eagles down at the 1 yard line, that would be huge. And quite honestly, really the momentum stealing opportunity that this Panthers defense needs, because you just have the feeling that the Eagles are one play away from sealing the deal.
Chris Freeman in the YouTube comments says DeSoto by 24. Z Blair says I need a 50 piece. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing here for DeSoto on the first play of the possession. First time today we've seen Jaden Trawick get a carry, a young man who's been a key piece for DeSoto in years gone by. Talented kid that has made an impact for them in the 2 or 3 years prior to this. Tonight with his first carry. Second down and 10, quick throw far side. Up the sideline goes Pride for a few. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. At the 24, it'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, got to give Antonio Pride some touches. The guy that we saw close the curtains on the first half with the score for DeSoto. And just like that, we're back at 3rd down.
3rd and 6 for the Eagles offense. They've got to get right to the 30-yard stripe to move the chains. Duncanville's defense trying to lock down here. Play action fake. Rolling out is Bailey. Pressure in his face at Simmons. He makes him miss. Fires. Completes for the first down. What a play by DJ Bailey.
How? That's all I'm saying. And that's the Tristan Bailey. What a play. And what a play. This is a scramble drill. First of all, he has to make an exceptional move to get Colin Simmons off of him. But the vision to see number 14 is, boy, that's some work.
Now Bailey carrying himself and lowering his shoulder and still dragging the pile. Look at DJ Bailey. What a play from the senior quarterback. Back-to-back snaps.
And DJ Bailey's not small. 5'11", 200 pounds. And you see him when he lowers his shoulder, it is effective. Don't tell me it doesn't mean something for the senior.
2nd and 1. Handoff coming near side for Trawick. First down and then some into Duncanville territory.
Another piece that they bring off the bench. Trawick didn't play in the first half, and now he's in the ball game, moving the sticks.
This is how deep the backfield is for the DeSoto Eagles. Tiger Ryden not playing today. Marvin Duffy's had a nice day. Jalen Jones has had a nice day. Now Trawick steps in, and he's got a couple of big carries. This one goes for just a yard. A lot of shouting and pointing, but no flags.
And it is so physical down there in the trenches, and you see these guys every play. Colin Simmons seems like he's getting wrapped up with one of the DeSoto Eagles. A lot of back and forth going on between these fronts.
Handoff Trawick, left side. Able to fall forward for a gain of 4. Stephanie Bracey in the YouTube comments saying the U is not to be messed with. The U is not to be played with, Stephanie Bracey says. 11,000 of you with us right now on the WFA YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for being here today. for the game of the year in Texas high school football. 3rd down and 6 once again. Can Bailey convert again? Far side, knocked away. Would have been a terrific catch by Dalen Singleton. Instead, 4th down and a decision here for Claude Mathis.
And that's a great play by Javion Holiday, number 3, driving on that out route. How many times have we seen DJ Bailey convert on plays like that to the outside? Finally getting the stop of the Panthers defense and forcing the punt from the Eagles.
Out comes Angel Diaz to kick it away. Ball at the 43. Not quite close enough for Claude Mathis to decide to go for it. And Diaz will punt it. Oh, they fake it. The snap to the up back, and it's a 1st down for DeSoto. Jalen Jones on the carry, and the Eagles convert.
What is going on, Mike? Hey, Coach Mathis is basically saying, look, here is our opportunity. There is no tomorrow. We are taking advantage right now, and there is blood in the water. And right now, DeSoto has marked their guys. They are going after the Panthers right now.
You could see it on the run from DJ Bailey as he kept pushing the pile and pushing the pile. DeSoto can taste it right now. They feel, hey, here's our chance to go make some history and actually win in this matchup. Up 14, the fake punt pops for Jalen Jones, and DeSoto, after this carry here, knocking on the door of the red zone. They'll place it at the 22. It would appear they're trying to reset the play clock. I don't know if that 1st down snap, okay, that snap will count, and it will be 2nd down and 8. Ball at the 22. Bailey with the handoff for Duffy up the middle, hopping his way over a tackler down to the 18.
Good to see Marvin Duffy back in this ball game, and that's what the difference that he has made.
Right back to the line of scrimmage they go. Duffy taking the snap, and he's got the 1st down. There is a flag at the 5-yard line.
I think they called the Panthers with too many men on the field trying to make a substitution as they go to the hurry-up offense.
Mathis having a conversation with the near side line judge. It was a 3rd down and 3. We'll see what the ruling is.
That's a 1st down.
The result of the play ends up being a 1st down anyway, so they stick with that. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line. DeSoto in the final minute of the 3rd quarter, knocking on the door of a 3-score lead. Duffy carries up the middle. Knifing through to make the stop for Duncanville is Nehemiah Borner.
Yeah, Nehemiah Borner has done that so many times from his Sam linebacker position. Look at him coming right down, knifing down the line of scrimmage. That's great pursuit by number 24.
Ball spotted right at the 10. DeSoto does not have to snap it here in this 3rd quarter if they don't want to, and they will not. Offensive coordinators Charles Williams and Kerry Sweeney say, hey, come on over to the sideline. We're up 14 going to the 4th quarter. DeSoto 35, Duncanville 21. 4s in the air. Who's the best high school football team in Texas? 12 minutes left to decide it on a special Saturday edition of Friday Night Football.
WFAA Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses. It's the heart that makes up the game. The triumph of human spirit, its agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify communities. We give you the stats, but inspire you with the stories, the unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable. We bring it to you all because sports lives in all of us.
It does not get bigger than this matchup. Number 1 and number 3 in the state rankings in 6A. Duncanville and DeSoto, the 2 defending state champions in 6A D1 and D2. Duncanville and DeSoto respectively. 1 quarter left to decide this one. And Heckma Harrison, if it's going to be Duncanville, the Panthers need this 4th quarter to start with a stop.
Yeah, that is, man, words out of mouth right here, man. They have to get a stop right here. If they allow for this team to go up on them by 21 points, man, they'd be hard pressed.
Bailey to the air, looking for Feaster, the freshman. Incomplete. Nearly a sensational one-handed grab.
I'm telling you, Booby does that all the time. Not able to bring that play down is number 18.
Javion Holiday in coverage, and it's 3rd down.
And don't look now. I guess when you need your playmakers all around, I guess you get Decorian Moore and tell him come out here and also play cornerback. He does that too.
3rd down and 7. They've got to get to the 2 to move the chains. Bailey over the middle, end zone. This time they do make the connection. Feaster with the diving grab, and Duncan and DeSoto has built the lead. Is it 19 instead of 18? It's 19. Christoph Fantroy with the reception.
Hey, Christoph, boy, hey, what a famous name that is right there. Boy, Christoph just stretches himself out just like that. The Eagles have not played any games in this 2nd half and has stood on everything they said prior to this game. What a showing by the DeSoto Eagles.
DJ Bailey with his 4th touchdown pass of the day, and DeSoto has built a 42-20, well, I should say 41-21 for the moment. Still waiting on the PAT from Angel Diaz, but a 3-score lead for the DeSoto Eagles.
Mike Leslie, are you not entertained?
Unbelievable. Diaz on for the PAT. Bailey with the hold. The kick is good, and DeSoto is doubling up the Duncanville Panthers.
I am shocked right now. I am shocked. And let me just say this. I came into this game with number 5 circled as our player to watch. We've seen how good this kid has been, but I don't know if we've ever seen him play this good. DJ Bailey has been a magician with the football, and I'm saying Sam Houston has a complete stud, but this kid is next world. His arm, his precision, I mean, this has been a complete undoing of this world-renowned Duncanville Panther defense.
42 points on the board for DeSoto today against a Duncanville defense that coming into the day had given up 26 points all season.
Wow. Wow.
And Christoph Fantroy makes the diving catch in the end zone. The 5th, 6th best wide receiver on this DeSoto football team, making plays to put Duncanville in a major hole 20 seconds into this 4th quarter.
Wow. This is, I mean, just the way that they've answered every time. You would seemingly, you think that the Panthers have hit them in the mouth and stopped some of their momentum. They haven't, man. These guys just continue to answer play after play after play. I am impressed, which however this goes, if this is the #1 team in the state of Texas, boy, this is going to be quite a march to AT&T Stadium.
Which then brings me to the thought, this DeSoto team that is evidently capable of leading Duncanville 42-21 is going to be 6A D2, is going to be 5A next year. If they don't decide to opt into 6A, they have turned in an enrollment number that would put them in 5A next year.
That is
what?
That is, yeah, that is what? Yeah.
Can Keelan Russell author a comeback? Throws far side. Nice grab by Decorian Moore, and he fights his way for a dozen.
And you missed that. You missed that in the first half. DeCorian Moore is really just the tone setter for these guys offensively. And you didn't have that in the first half. Don't know what happened, if there was an injury or what happened, but man, his absence was felt there in the first half.
1st and 10 at the 37. Russell looking deep. Overthrows his intended target. It was Moore once again.
And trying to make sure they get the ball in to DeCorian Moore. Get him some touches.
Time is a factor right now.
Absolutely. If you're down by 21, that's you got to go for it here.
There is still time to be played with, but you got to hustle right now if you're the Duncanville Panthers. Russell pressured, fires, has a man behind the defense, in stride for DeCorian Moore, and Duncanville has an answer. The touchdown hookup from Russell to Moore, and the lead's back down to 2 scores.
I said it before and I'll say it again. DeCorian Moore is the tone setter for this Duncanville offense, and you had that standing on the sideline in the first half. If they are going to get back in this game, tie it up, it's going to be because number 1 has touches.
42-27 for the moment. Awaiting the PAT here from Beatrice. A 63-yard hookup from Russell to Moore. And it is 42-28. Duncanville did what they needed to do, scoring quickly. Only 42 seconds off the clock between that Bailey to Fantroy touchdown pass for DeSoto and this touchdown here from Russell to DeCorian Moore to cut the lead back down to 14.
And this is a plain just go ball, and he finds him in the right position. DeCorian Moore runs right under it. I mean, he was gone as soon as he was off the line of scrimmage. There was no catching number 1. Going to LSU, the Bayou Bengals have some talent coming their way with DeCorian Moore and Caden Durham. What a game.
Just like that, Duncanville has reset this situation right back to what it was at halftime, a 14-point DeSoto lead. 42-28 though, and now 10:58 left in this football game. Duncanville's going to need at least 2 more defensive stops. And a lot of things to go their way over this last 10:58. From his own 10-yard line. Dalen Singleton this time hemmed in at the 27.
I just wouldn't kick it to him.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I just wouldn't kick it to him. Anybody else but 13. But this Duncanville defense, you say they need some holes. They had some holes to some stops here. They're a talented enough group to get the turnovers that they need. Force a turnover here to get the ball back into the hands of your offense.
It'll be 1st and 10 for DeSoto at their own 27-yard line. Up 2 scores. Handoff Duffy, nowhere to go. Big number 44, A.J. Brown leading the charge. Javian Council there as well. A loss of a yard, 2nd and 11.
And just the way that these 2 guys converge on tackles, 44 and number 11, 2 very big guys with a lot of presence there in the middle, playing really tough here in the 4th quarter.
3 wide receivers in a triangle to the top of the formation here for DJ Bailey, who has Duffy to his left in the sidecar. Shotgun snap, handoff Duffy, again nowhere to go. This time Duffy able to do a good job to fall forward for a gain of 2, but it's going to be 3rd and 9.
And this is where we've seen the best of the DeSoto Eagles, is when there is a 3rd and 9. Being able to pick up what is seemingly impossible versus Duncanville defense. What does Coach Mathis draw up here on 3rd?
2 wide receivers to either side. Bailey to go to the air. Looking, scanning, finds Feaster, but he'll be short of the line to gain. right at the 33-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and about 4.
And Feaster climbing that ladder back to the ball. It comes a little short on that first down, not looking at the marker. And that's where they needed him to be.
So DeSoto.
DeCoria Moore was going back to receive the punt.
Now he is back there to receive the punt once again, jogging his way back out there to catch the punt here from Angel Diaz. No fake this time from DeSoto. High wobbly kick up the near sideline, takes a big DeSoto bounce. 15 yards worth there of field position gained by that bounce, and it will be 1st and 10 for Duncanville. Down 2 scores, ball at their own 32-yard line.
Initially, that punt looked ugly and looked like it was going to bounce back the other way. Fortunately for the Eagles, it lands and rolls forward. Let's see if the DeSoto Eagles defense can get a stop with 8:48 left here in the 4th quarter.
Almost 12,000 of you with us right now on the WFAA YouTube channel as Russell pump fakes, fires far side, complete for Moore, but he is double teamed and hammered after a gain of 1.
What a tackle. Look at number 9, Jamari Lay. Woo. That is how you get there, and with some boom behind it.
Second and 9. Russell near side. Nice throw. Better catch. McCoy twisted around and taken down at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 4.
As Duncanville rushes back to the line of scrimmage for the play. Let's see what they have drawn up. This is a big pickup. They can get a 1st down here, continuing this drive.
Under 8 minutes to play. Still down 2 scores. Handoff Durham. Broke the first wave of tackles. That spot on the far side would indicate that he's got the 1st down, and he does.
Love that hand signal, but boy, that's tough sledding right there for number 29. He's not just one of those home run hitter running backs, man. He can do all the little things. You've seen him block as well.
Deep shot looking for Moore, but miscommunication between Russell and the junior Moore, and it's incomplete, out of bounds.
Kid Kiki Abrams, number 15 for the Eagles, man. He is a dog. He is a problem up front. They are having a hard time with him at the line of scrimmage. He is forcing these throws for Keelan Russell.
2nd down and 10. 7:28 to play here in the 4th. Setting up the screen, but Turner lost his footing, and it's incomplete.
Look at the play design, though. Turner, he slips down. Mike, they have this blocked up so perfectly. The only guy that's out there that even has a chance is number 3, and that's Brandon Booker.
A lot of rain last night here in DeSoto. Lightning that delayed this game until today. Pouring rain all night, and it finally shows itself. Pressure off the edge. Moore over the middle. Incomplete. Russell was looking for Asen Theus. It falls incomplete through his hands, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and that, again, that's Kiki Abrams. Look at this edge. He gets, look at that, underneath the armpit. That is so textbook. But just to get that pressure, get up the field, and not allow that tackle to get into you. It's a great job by number 15, Kiki Abrams.
4th and 10, and Duncanville's got to go for it. They've got to get to the 48 on DeSoto's side of the field. Russell, pressure, lost the football. It's on the deck, pounced on by it doesn't matter. DeSoto football, a 4th down stop from the Eagles with 7:13 in the 4th.
Kiki Abrams, look at number 15, get up the field. Caden Durham is trying to block him. Can't do anything with him. I'm sorry, that's number 9, Jamari Lay, is the one that comes over the top of Kiki Abrams, forces that ball out, and what a response right there by the Eagles.
Lay forced the fumble. Abrams ate up the double team and created the pressure to allow Lay to come around the edge and get the hit on Russell. And DeSoto's defense forces the turnover again. And it's 1st and 10 Eagles at the 34 in Duncanville territory, up 2 scores. Handoff here for Duffy, a gain of a yard.
Man, this has been a physical contest in the trenches. It's going to be some sore young men after this game.
The YouTube comments lighten up right now. Game's over. Good night, Panthers, says one. SBI Goose says that was their only chance. Aiden Forthman saying fluke game. Still a lot of time left in this one. That throw, I thought, bounced. Pride makes the catch, apparently. I may have had a bad look at it here. And
that thing is just scraping off the turf, and Antonio Pride able to get his hands underneath it.
Yeah, it looks like it was correctly called. My fault. 3rd down and a yard here. Approaching the midway point here of the 4th quarter. Duncanville's defense has got to get their offense the football back, and in a hurry.
Got
DeSoto's going to let that clock run.
Got Booby Feaster out here on the outside, man-to-man.
Bailey keeps it himself. 1st down, DeSoto.
Oh, it's still not lost. I mean, this Duncanville defense, boy, they have got to stand up. And the one thing that they can't allow any points right here.
I just saw a comment that said Cal Allen beats DeSoto and Duncanville.
Okay.
Ha.
Okay.
I laugh at that suggestion.
Is that was that from Shaquille Oatmeal?
You know, I didn't see who made the comment.
Okay. I just had to say that handle again.
Get on out of here with that weak sauce. 1st and 10 for DeSoto at the 21. They nearly got Simmons to jump off sides. He got back, but Duffy right up the middle gashes him again for 9.
I just want to let everybody know that's watching this that Marvin Duffy is a really good running back, but they have a guy on the roster that's really, really good that's not even playing right now.
Yeah, the fact that they're doing this without Tiger Ryden is incredible, and they do give him 10 on the carry and a 1st down, so 1st and 10 at the 11. 5 minutes, 10 seconds left in this football game. DeSoto hunting a kill shot. Duffy up the middle. He's got it. Touchdown, DeSoto.
Mike, did I not say that Marvin Duffy was pretty good? I think I did. And he has been a difference maker in this game. And finally, this DeSoto Eagle offensive line, you see the way that they have leaned on this front for the Duncanville Panthers. That is a way to cap this game off. And this tape, it's just going to live for a lot of teams to watch to see how you get over the hump from the Duncanville Panthers.
The DeSoto sideline waving goodbye right now to the Duncanville players. Extra point is good. 49-28 DeSoto.
Wow. Do you hear the cries of overrated coming from the crowd as well? What a game. What a game. DeSoto came in. Everyone, like Mike Tyson always says, one of his famous quotes, everyone has a plan, a game plan until they get hit. Well, I'll tell you what, DeSoto didn't come into this game with a game plan of even having to withstand being hit. They were the ones that were going to be delivering the blow, and they did exactly that. And they have not lit up off the gas since their first play from scrimmage. I'm impressed with this victory.
And they took that hit too and still got up off the mat and continue to respond. Because Duncanville came back, tied this game up at 14. Caden Durham with the 36-yard touchdown run. And I know you and I were both thinking the same thing. All right, here comes Duncanville. And they answered back with a vengeance. Outscored Duncanville 21-7 in that second quarter after Duncanville had tied it up at 14. And they've kept their foot on the gas here in the second half to lead by 21 with 5 minutes left in the football game.
Yeah, just a resilient group. The way that they've come out, but you're right, Mike, the way that they matched that intensity, they didn't, you know, a lot of times teams, they will freeze up when you see a state, both of these state title holders, but when you see the #1 team seemingly get their bearings about them and get back in this game.
Yeah.
DeSoto said that doesn't matter to us. We're going to continue to keep firing. We know where we're going. We've seen our game plan, and we're going to raise you this running game and see if you can respond. They did exactly that, man. They just continue to pound and pound away. They got to give a lot of credit to this offensive line because they have definitely protected DJ Bailey.
Russell will go to the air, trying to make something happen here. Complete to Asen Theus for a first down, but Duncanville now with Everest in front of them. They have to have everything go their way over this last 4:51.
Wow. What a game.
First and 10 at the 36. Pressure off the edge again. They're able to deal with it this time. Russell firing downfield. Has a man. It's Turner, complete out of bounds at the 45. That'll move the chains once again, and Duncanville quickly into DeSoto territory.
And what they figured out is they're going to have to triple team Kiki Abrams on the outside if they want this offense to work at all. And Zach Turner, man, this is a kid that battled. We thought it was going to be out of this game. Looked like he had a nasty injury in the first quarter.
Deep shot here for Turner, but just a bit too far. Second down and 10.
Yeah, time is of the essence right now, and you can tell the Panthers are just trying to go for anything, a big play and deep.
Heckma Harrison, where else across the country could you have over 12,000 people watching a high school football game all at the same time? The numbers for this game are going to be ridiculous. Texas high school football is one of a kind. That catch is one of a kind by Zach Turner over the middle for a first down here for Duncanville.
Yeah, this kid is amazing. I mean, and just the sophomore, possession receiver, and you could tell right there from Zach Turner his ability to go up in traffic and bring the ball down, man, big and physical on the outside.
Russell looking deep. They got him twisted up in the secondary, but Asen Theus was overshot just a bit by Russell. That should have been 6.
Oh, that should absolutely. And that's a play that they needed. And Keelan Russell going out to his left, just not able to get that ball down to get it to Asen Theus.
Simo Smoove in the YouTube comment says these two teams will repeat as state champs. The better team just won today. Again, North Shore, the one team that you figure will have a voice in that conversation. But certainly these two teams do look like they are headed back to AT&T Stadium at the very least.
Just so much talent, and the way that we opened up and talking about this game being played on a Saturday, and the fact that a lot of these players are going to be playing on Saturday, big time college football. There's so much talent out here. Hard to choose between all the talent that you have out here, and just outstanding players on both rosters. But you can't, I don't care what you say, you are surprised by the outcome. Not just that DeSoto is winning or is going to win this game, but they won by 21 points potentially at this point.
If we can bring back up the district standings coming into this football game. Both teams coming in at 5-0 in District 11 6A. The DeSoto Eagles 4 minutes and 17 seconds away from a district championship. Something that Claude Mathis hasn't been able to claim since 2014, last time he was a head coach of a district champion here at DeSoto. They went 11-1 that year, 14-1 the 2 years prior. They won 3 straight district titles, 12, 13, and 14. He did win 2 district titles at Marshall in 17 and 18 after he was on the staff at SMU. But they have been in this district of doom with Duncanville for a lot of this stretch, and either Duncanville or Cedar Hill's been able to get them. They are on the precipice now. Nice throw and catch by Nate McCoy, and that's going to move the chains, and Duncanville's faint hopes are still there, but again, they still need the world.
But that's an even better job by Keelan Russell. Keelan Russell, with bodies around him and in the grips of an Eagle defender, still delivers the mail.
Russell into traffic. Incomplete, looking for Theus. There were 3 silver jerseys down there. I will say we laughed about the white jerseys versus the silver jerseys pregame. It hasn't felt all that difficult to tell the difference between the two today.
Well, hadn't bothered DJ Bailey for sure.
That's for sure. And honestly, Keelan Russell, I mean, I'll pull up his numbers once again, but it's not like he's been throwing to the wrong team all night long. Nice throw, far side. Great catch by DeCorian Moore.
That's all timing right there. Back shoulder fade. Man, that's a great job. Number 1, DeCorian Moore. We can't say enough about this kid and his absence in the first half.
First and goal, Russell taken down.
Boy, when this defense has had to make a play, they've done it, and you get the play right there from number 48, Jason Douglas, who has been a big part of the stops that they've gotten on Caden Durham here in the second half.
Jason Douglas will a little shimmy after he made that sack of Keelan Russell.
Yeah, you got to, man. You do all that work to get a sack.
Second down and goal. End zone shot, looking for more. Jump ball, knocked away. An official's hat is on the ground.
May not have counted, he's out of bounds.
Incomplete either way. It'll be third down and goal. Back to your point about the quarterbacks and not having any issues with the similar colored jerseys. Keelan Russell, 25 of 36 for 277 and a touchdown. Darius Bailey, 17 of 23, 4 touchdown passes on the day. Russell looking for another, complete for Nate McCoy, short of the line to gain. They say he was down this time. And McCoy is in some pain at the 7-yard line. 3:02 left in this fourth quarter. And he got twisted around awkwardly late in that play.
Yeah, that's a tough position for the receiver to be in. Jamari Lay comes out there and he's twisting him down to the ground, and his legs get caught underneath him. That's Nate McCoy. Man, I hope he's okay. It looked like an ankle.
So an injury timeout here. Duncanville still with all 3 timeouts left in this football game. I'm a little surprised, Heckman, that we haven't seen them use maybe at least one of them as they've marched down the field to try and preserve some time on the clock.
So I agree with you on that. But if they get a score here, I'm anticipating onside kick.
Certainly.
And that's when you'll start to see the timeout start to take start to show their face. And as number 13, Nate McCoy is up, but man, it looks pretty bad. He's not putting a lot of weight.
A significant limp. That right leg not getting a whole lot of weight right now as the training staff from Duncanville helps the junior wide receiver off the field.
And I don't know if we didn't miss a fumble right there from that, because the ball comes out as he's going to the ground. Don't know if the knee was down or not, but you do see the ball come out here at the last minute.
Another look at it here. I think he was down by the time that ball comes out.
Okay.
Stress on the word think, but it will be fourth down and goal with the ball at the 7-yard line. If Duncanville wants to keep their hopes alive here, they have to score on this play. Timeout DeSoto. They use their second timeout of this second half.
Yeah, just trying to make sure that they get the defense on the field. It's 2:55 here in the fourth, man. This has been an exceptional football game. Defensively here, a stance obviously is important because you know what Duncanville is going to do if they do get points. They are going to get go for the onside kick. If they get it, it makes things very interesting going through the stretch of this game.
Give you a look ahead at next week's matchup here on Friday Night Football as the Prosper Eagles and the McKinney Lions, a McKinney team that may well jump back up into the 6A top 25 coming off their win over Denton Guyer a couple days ago. That will be for the district championship this coming Thursday night at 7 o'clock here on Friday Night Football. A special Thursday night, last week of the regular season. Everybody seems to want to play on Thursdays that week version of Friday Night Football. I'm not sure how many dashes I just put into that sentence if you were to write it all out, but
right.
We will be there. Again, a fortunately timed World Series off night version of Friday Night Football because the Texas Rangers certainly are front and center right now. And in fact, in 2 minutes and 55 seconds worth of game time, that's where I'm headed to for game 2 between the Rangers and Diamondbacks tonight at Globe Life Field in Arlington, just about 25 minutes away. Out of the timeout, 4th and goal. Duncanville has to convert here and score to keep their hopes alive. Russell looking, end zone, tipped and caught. Unbelievable catch by DeCorian Moore. Touchdown Duncanville. 2:55 to play here in the 4th. Look at this one again.
Yeah, say something about him being him. That's it. How about that? He's just keeping his eyes locked in on that ball. And DeCorian Moore has only been on this field for a little over a half, and you can already see his impact. DeCorian didn't play at all in the first half. Maybe the difference in this football game, Mike.
I can't express to you how hard that catch is. Off a deflection like that, to keep tracking the football and make that grab fully extended. Incredible catch from DeCorian Moore that keeps Duncanville's faint hopes alive. 49-35, and the aforementioned onside kick likely coming here from Duncanville with 2:55 to play.
Well, things could get very interesting. Hans' team is on deck for the DeSoto Eagles. But the Panthers are not just going quietly. They are continuing to pound. As you saw from that score, man, that was special from DeCorian Moore. And the reason why he is one of the best.
On the game clock, 2:44.
So 11 seconds coming off of the clock here.
Don't think they started it in that last drive.
2:44. Yes, as I'm looking back on our YouTube feed, the clock was at 2:55 before the snap and remained at 2:55 throughout the entirety of the play. The best efforts of these officials to time the play, their guess was 11 seconds. I'll try and time it myself and see how close they were. It's not going to be 11 seconds. In fact, it probably should have only been about 5. But again, they're having to do their best to estimate because the clock operator didn't run the clock up here in the booth. So the clock goes down to 2:44 now. And on comes Beatrice for the onside kick. In the air and out of bounds, and that never stood a chance.
No, that's not the onside kick that they draw up in practice. Let's say it like this, Mike. They probably don't have a lot of onside kick thoughts going on.
Duncanville's not usually trailing in the fourth quarter. No, that is fair.
One of the things that they have to scheme for.
So DeSoto football, 2:44 on the clock. The only good thing about that play for Duncanville is no time came off the clock.
Well,
it's about all they got.
Bad thing about it is here's where you have to start using your timeouts.
You got to imagine that DeSoto will run the football 3 successive plays here. Handoff Duffy. He's got a lot of room left side. He'll have the first down on the first carry of the DeSoto possession. Loses his helmet late in the play, but moves the chains, and that just made Duncanville's already difficult process just about moot.
Yeah, as you see this offensive line, man, just continuing to block down the field. They haven't given up on any blocks since the first quarter. They have been driving, you know, tandem blocking, getting to the second level. Have loved the aggressiveness that they've come out with up front, and that has been the difference with a vaunted Duncanville Panther defense front line with D1 star talent all across the front of it. They've handled it.
Duncanville will assuredly be stripping at the football here as best they can. Handoff goes to Jones. A gain of 2. Timeout Duncanville. That's their first of the second half with $1:59 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And just to think, the game that almost didn't happen, it ends up being this huge.
There was discussion last night, according to the folks that were here in DeSoto last night. You and I were unfortunately elsewhere, otherwise entwined. There was discussion last night about not playing the game because of the fact that it does not have an impact on playoff positioning. Duncanville is going to be the #1 seed in 6A Division I out of this district. DeSoto will be the #1 seed in 6A Division II out of this district. This game is basically only to decide who's the district champion, which is only meaningful on paper because they're going into separate divisions, and bragging rights. And heavens knows bragging rights in this matchup matters an awful lot, and I have to imagine on some level was a factor in deciding, hey, no, let's play this football game. We are very appreciative that they did because we were excited to be here for this one, and it turned out to be a fantastic football game. The DeSoto, excuse me, is now 1:59 away from finishing off. The handoff near side down to the 38-yard line in the hands of Jalen Jones. Duncanville uses timeout number 2 with 1:51 to play. They will have to get a stop here on 3rd down and 2.
Mike, there may have been a revolt if they didn't play this game from the two communities. You pretty much you outline it perfectly, because had it been any other team anywhere else, they wouldn't have played the game. They would have just decided it right there. The significance of it wouldn't have decided anything. But when you're talking about DeSoto and Duncanville from a community, they had to play this game because your seniors live for this game. And it would have been criminal to not have this opportunity to play one another. And I think for DeSoto, this is such a, I don't want to say ego boost for them, but they've what, 2014 was it that you said the last time that DeSoto beat Duncanville?
2016.
2016?
The year that DeSoto won their first state championship. They beat them 41-17 in October of 16.
And the people from the DeSoto Eagles community cringe at that type of statistic, knowing that they haven't won.
Bailey is stopped there on 3rd down and 2. Timeout Duncanville. It'll be 4th down and a little less than a yard here for DeSoto. So Duncanville perhaps with a shot to get the football back here one more time with 104 seconds left.
And Mathis is definitely keeping his offense out on the field. They're going to go for it here for 4th and short, because if you get the first down here,
it's 3 kneel downs and
and Duncanville completely, they're out of timeouts here. Nothing they can do to stop the clock. But yeah, this really gives a boost to this DeSoto Eagle program by coming in and beating Duncanville at home last year. Man, that game was completely a washout with all the rain. We showed Coach Samples before in the highlight package. He was soaking wet. I mean, we're up in the booth and the walls are sweating. We got rain coming into our booth. And Kate, that was a game that neither offense could really get going, other than Duncanville hadn't Caden Durham and him having a fantastic game.
4th down and less than a yard. DeSoto's offensive line has been great all day. They've got a chance to finish it here. Handoff. Oh, I don't think he got it. Stood up. The spot by the far side line judge is short. They handed it off to Marshall Curvin, the defensive tackle, and he did not get there. A fourth down stop right at the 35-yard line, and Duncanville, again, grasping at life as best they can. Still needs a miracle, but they will get the football back here with a $1:42 to play.
Not a lot of time to waste. Let's see if they could get something going quick. It's got to be quick strike. I anticipate passes galore here for the Panthers. You see Decoria Moore, number 1, lined up in the slot position. He is matched up man-to-man with Dre Wisner.
$1:42 to play, ball at their own 35-yard line. Russell pressured off the edge and taken down, hammered from behind. Jason Douglas with the sack.
That's it. That's number 15.
Oh, it is Abrams. Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
They can't stop him. They literally cannot stop Kiki Abrams.
Clock continues to burn, down to 1:17. Russell pressured again and taken down again. Curvin was there. Seems like the entire defensive front from DeSoto was there on this one. Jairus Gray as well.
I tell you, this Jason Douglas and Kiki Abrams, man, they have put on a show defensively.
3rd down and 20. Tunnel screen, nowhere to go. Duncanville has gone nothing but backward. And the DeSoto sideline can taste it. 35 seconds left. 4th down and a mile for Duncanville. They've got to get to the 45. Russell to the air, throws far side, intercepted. Knocked away, incomplete, but DeSoto with the stop. Turnover on downs, and it is over in DeSoto. The Eagles will win it.
And Mario Buford out on the other side. He has one assignment, and that's not allowed Decoria Moore to get to the sticks. He jumps that ball, it's underthrown, and boy, this is quite a win for DeSoto. Nobody was going to cancel this game, Mike. No way. No way. It means too much.
It belonged on a Saturday like this so that the whole state could see it. An absolute battle between two of the biggest rivals in the state of Texas. Arguably the two best teams in the state of Texas, Duncanville and DeSoto.
Look at this sideline. This sideline for DeSoto, man, this, talk about the joy.
There was one question coming into today. Who's the best team in Texas? The DeSoto Eagles make their claim. 49-35 final. DeSoto beats Duncanville.
Mike, what an amazing game. What an amazing game and what an atmosphere. And DeSoto never let off the gas. These are two close-knit communities and players that have played against one another forever. Going back to Little League, middle school, and high school. These coaches are very familiar with one another. This was a hard-fought game. Hard-fought game, as you see Coach Claude Mathis and Reginald Samples meeting right at the 50-yard line, and that's a hug between the two coaches that have a tremendous amount of respect for one another. When we interviewed Coach Mathis last year, he talked a lot about his respect that he has for Reginald Samples and just the love that he has for him, knowing what they represent to Texas high school football. And after it's all said and done, Mike, this is the one thing that I want to point out. With all the flags that were thrown, the unsportsmanlike, all of that, look at these two teams embrace each other down on the field. That's what it's all about, okay? They want to put it in the media one way or another, say about how contentious it gets between these two teams, but just the fact that they come after this game, shake hands, and they both know that they are both on the road to AT&T Stadium. But I will say this, the DeSoto Eagles are for real.
They are absolutely for real. I think it's important to note, because you talk about the emotion that we see and the moments where, I mean, it came to blows. There was a player ejected today for throwing a punch. It's not disrespect. It's just, it is an absolute overflow of emotion in this game between two programs, two teams, two groups of kids that know each other incredibly well and want to beat each other so badly, want to be the ones that are walking off the field today as victors in this game that is so entwined in bragging rights. And sometimes it boils over. But you see now, after the game, the respect that is there between these two programs, even though there may still be some braggadocio happening on the sidelines right now and out on the field. It's bigger than just that. There is a lot of respect here, too. Claude Mathis gets doused with the Gatorade bath.
I love it. And they take his visor from him first. They took his visor off. Like, Coach, we're not going to get your visor wet. Look at Claude Mathis. That man, he deserves to celebrate like this. Deserves it. He deserves it.
That's only the second time that Claude Mathis has defeated Reginald Samples. It's only happened one other time. DeSoto beat Skyline in the playoffs back in 2010, 38-0 in the second round of the playoffs. That's the only time that Mathis has gotten Samples until today.
Wow. That's hey man, that's opening a pressure valve right there when you can get that second win. And this game means a whole lot to Claude Mathis. There's no way they were going to cancel this game, Mike. There's no way. No way. This game was going to be played one way or another. If they had to do it on Monday, it was going to get played. Maybe not on Monday. It was going to get played.
They had one chance today, and thankfully, it was played in its entirety this afternoon here in DeSoto. Now look forward for these two teams. Again, we have every expectation that these two teams are playing for a state championship in Arlington in, let me do the math here real quick, 7 weeks' time. DeSoto just stamped themselves very clearly as the favorite by a mile in 6A Division II. It does leave at least a window of question now about who's the favorite in 6A D1. Is it Duncanville? Is it North Shore? North Shore won yesterday against Atascocita in pretty convincing and impressive fashion. It would be a surprise. It's a surprise every year when it's not those two teams that make it to AT&T Stadium. You got to imagine that's the matchup, but there is at least a window of, okay, so who is that top team in 6A D1 then?
And I don't want to open up this window to make it seem as though I'm giving an excuse here, okay? But I'm going to say this. Duncanville played that first half without Decorian Moore.
Oh, that matters. There's a
backstory to that, and we will figure out what happened, okay? But Decorian Moore in that second half with those 2 touchdowns, if you have a player like that in the first half, what difference does his presence make in this game? That's the only thing that I bring up in this instance. Either way,
yes,
this is an impressive victory by DeSoto, and nothing can be taken away from them in this. I just believe the weather delay coming to today, defensively, this is not the Duncanville Panther defense that we've been accustomed to seeing. Them getting the stops. You pointed to the amount of points that has been scored against this Duncanville defense. I believe it was 26.
26 all year coming into today.
26 points to this point. No one could have ever predicted that DJ Bailey would have had the day that he had today. Like, he completely went off. And there were some series and passes that he was making. You just liken it to surgery with no anesthesia. He's just, I mean, it was a complete undoing of this Duncanville defense. and he just continued it. And it wasn't like the moment was too big for him. He just continued to pile it on and make play after play after play. Guys like number 13, Dalen Singleton, man, he had a lights-out game, but not only that, they doubled down on it by continuing to run the ball, and I think that was the one thing for Duncanville's defense that was their undoing, because they couldn't stop the run. Everything else was accessible. So, look, they have to go back, circle the wagons if you're a Duncanville Panther, and understand that you still have everything to play for. I mean, you're the number one seed. You have everything that you're going to get. I think in this first round, 1 plays a 4, so they're going to get the weakest opponent coming out of another district, and they can just completely run with that through this playoffs. And so you're going to run into some really tough opposition, but to decide who's going to be the number 1 team at the end of the year, I'm sure Galena North Shore will be there at AT&T to answer this question that you just asked.
So, question from our friends at Prep Gridiron Logistics on Twitter just now, and it's a good question because I don't know the answer. He said, anyone know the last time Duncanville gave up 49 points in a game? The closest example I can come up with, and it's not 49, they gave up 45 to Mater Dei in the very first game of the 2021 season. But to me, that is instructive of just what DeSoto accomplished today in scoring 49 against a Duncanville defense. Mater Dei plays in a different stratosphere with the way that they're able to recruit, with the way that they're able to do things in California high school football. Yes. That's a completely different animal, and it took them to score 45 on Duncanville. What DeSoto just did today is otherworldly.
Yeah, that was a Mater Dei team that had 5-star after 5-star after 5-star at every position. When you look at those guys from quarterback to wide receiver to linebackers to everybody that they have, and they just shut down I was there for that game in Duncanville, and they shut that Duncanville offense down, and defensively they had their way. You're right. This was different. This was an opponent that you're used to. That was the familiarity component to this game. And look, DeSoto never turned back. They just continued to pour it on. Yeah. And like I said, this is a great team.
They gave up 41 to IMG the year prior. They gave up 41 in that fateful state championship game against North Shore back in 2018 that required the Hail Mary for anybody to score that much on them. Going back through the 2017 season, it has been a while. I have to imagine you've got to go back prior to Reginald Sample's time at Duncanville to find the last time they gave up that number of points in a game. It has been a while. A remarkable performance from this DeSoto offense, led by, as you said, Darius Bailey, 17 of 23, nearly 74% completion, 268 yards and 4 touchdowns to lead that man in the middle of your screen, Claude Mathis's team, to a win today in a game that really was the decider for, hey, who's the best team right now in the state of Texas?
And he showed everyone. He showed everyone, and Coach Mathis, man, has every reason, and he's not going to be one of these guys that pounds his chest about this victory, but it means a lot to him. You talked about him only beating Reginald Samples twice, and it took some really good teams to be able to get to this point. That Skyline team, man, they had a bunch of dogs on that side also, and to double down and come back here tonight, not only to pull out the victory, but to pull out the victory putting 49 points up against Duncanville, and then not be the likes of a IMG or a Mater Dei or, like you said, the Galena North Shores of the world. This is big time. This is big time, and one of those victories that I think is going to stay with this program, that they could go back and say, look at what we did here when no one thought we had the ability to do it.
An incredible, incredible performance from the DeSoto Eagles today. A 49-35 win to stay perfect on the year. And very likely move to number 1 in the state rankings when they come out on Monday afternoon. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, who was, I promise you, thrilled to be here today for this game, no one more so than yours truly. We appreciate you tuning in tonight for Friday Night Football. For our director, Clay Marshall, our photographers, Lance Martin and Cody Pryor, our digital team back in-house, Paul Wedding, Paul Livengood, our producer, Andrew Seeley, and for the one and only Heckma Harrison alongside Heckma Jr. in the booth with us tonight as well. Thank you so much for joining us for this one. The biggest game of the season in Texas high school football goes to the DeSoto Eagles, 49-35 victors. All our Friday Night Football broadcasts are archived in perpetuity on the WFAA YouTube channel and on the WFAA Plus app. This has been a proud presentation of WFAA TV.